my chassis for me. They've got that stuff pretty figured out. I think they built my chassis in about 3 weeks, and they're just knocking stuff out over there. They're super efficient, and they're good at what they do. So everything kind of just works really well. We've got kind of a great system between the friends and the partners that I work with, and everybody's just been a super efficient part. It's our team works really well together.
Yeah,
nice.
It's like you did.
And Brandon's stupid kids aren't going to college.
That interview was so epic, dude.
That guy was hilarious.
That guy
dude.
was hilarious. His poor kids.
I mean, it's kind of true though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might die on you, so
All right.
we got 1% left.
Hey, just get going. We don't want you. You use all your percentage. Go plug your phone in. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it. You guys kicked some ass.
Congrats again.
If anybody has any personal questions, hit me in the DMs. I'll try to answer as many as I can. I know that I see people asking questions, and I'll try to get back to as many people as possible. So if anybody has any questions, DM me. Not you, everybody but you. But so yeah, if anybody has any questions, try to hit me up in my DMs, and I'll see if I can get back to any of you. Not you, everybody but you. Appreciate the support, everybody, and we'll see if we can't go do it again next year, 2023. We've got a good lineup of races, and looking forward to doing the same thing.
Later, homies. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
See ya.
Congrats again.
Yeah, congrats again. All right, let's get Luke.
Thanks,
we're going to get Luke McMillin on here. Hopefully we'll get Rob Mack on too. Man, it's so crazy for me to think, like, they make it sound so easy. Luke McMillin, what's up, dude? How are you?
Hey, look at that guy.
Howdy. I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. First and foremost, actually, let's get Rob on here because I want to talk to both of them when you say this here. Leg Goat.
Rob McCachran.
Yeah.
Never heard of him. I'm just kidding.
So I want to talk with both of them real quick. It looks like Luke's still at the shop.
Yeah,
man.
Luke, you still at the shop?
I'm here. Yeah. We got the truck right there. And just, I wasn't here all day, actually. We had some friends over last night, celebrated, so I got here late.
Slept in late?
Yeah. So
That's all good. You deserve it.
Sorry, I'm trying to get my phone all adjusted.
Yeah, no worries. Hey, so real quick, Amber, just go to the app store on Rob's phone and update his Instagram app and then log back on and try it again because it looks like he's got an old Instagram app. So go do that and then do the same thing. All right, so Luke, dude, I just want to say, dude, 3-time champ. Like, just saying it for me as a fan gives me chills, dude. How does it feel for you?
Yeah. No, it's crazy. I feel like a broken record now. I've been saying the same thing, over and over, but it's just to win a Baja 1000 is a dream come true. But I've always wanted to break in the record books and kind of be a part of that. Like my dad, I grew up watching my dad do this. So it's awesome. I've been thinking about the 3-peat all year long. I'm like, back to back is badass, but you always want more. So all year long, I just been thinking, man, this is the race. If we can pull this off, I'm going to, be up here. It's going to be pretty cool. So no, I'm really stoked, and typical for us, we're back at the shop and we're ready to do it again.
Dude, yeah. Well, hard work pays off, right? It's pretty clear.
These guys put in the work.
So 2 things that I wanted to say. First of all, Mila, like, all the hard work and stuff that goes on behind it, but like, what's the move? So you know that you're going to go for a score championship. You kind of want to get things going. Do you plan? We just asked the UTV guys, Branden Sims and Skylar Howe, like what they do. But do you plan a year in advance? You plan a couple months in advance? Like, where do you kind of get the game plan together? Because this is no small feat, dude. Like, when you go out, first of all, 3-peating, but when you go out and win a score championship, like, that means that everything has to work all year. Like, I don't know if people understand how much wrench turning and how much planning and logistics and like the amount of labor that goes in behind this. So where do you guys get that winning formula?
Gosh, yeah, no, it's nonstop. Our office that we do real estate out of is here at the shop now, and I'm here every single day in and day out. I mean, the championship's awesome. That's a true testament to the team. That's we went first and second at the 1,000. We also got first and second in the points championship, and that's awesome. We're here all day, every day. There's 9 guys here at the shop. It's nonstop. We put our heads together, and anything that happens on these trucks, we just make sure it doesn't happen again. And it's just checklists and organization, and that's really key, I think, with all of it.
Well, I think if correct me if I'm wrong. So your goal basically is we're going to go win the 1,000. That goal's in December, right? So then we're like, okay, we're going to do the score championship, and then we're gearing up every race for the 1,000.
Right.
Am I wrong? Is basically kind of where you're at?
Every race will warm up for the Ball 1,000, no doubt. We go out, we run a certain amount of miles, and we'll take the truck back out to the desert to make sure we can get up to 1,000 miles, checking parts and all that kind of stuff. But every race, it's all about preparing for the Ball 1,000. So it's kind of a nonstop, as far as preparation goes. It's year round, and it's been my whole life. So
yeah,
There we go. What's up,
Who's
Rob?
that guy?
Rob Mack, the GOAT. What's up, dude? How are you?
Hey, Rob.
What's happening? How are you guys?
We're doing awesome. So now you guys are on Instagram together, but you guys have been spending a lot of time together lately, huh?
a little bit.
Hold on, I gotta help us.
Opposite parts of the course. We were both for 10 days, but Rob was down doing his section, I was doing mine. So we actually didn't spend too much time together till the very end there. Till the day before the race, and even then it's all nerves and just getting ready, and then a little bit of celebrating after. But Rob was down putting the time in his section, and I was in my section, so not too much time together.
Can you guys give us a actually, since Luke's already been on for a little bit, Rob, can you give us first of all, thank you, Amber. Can you give us a little bit of an understanding how some of this stuff comes together? You've been doing off-road racing for a long time, and you get the opportunity to drive an all-wheel drive trophy truck for one of the best teams with the McMillin boys. How does that go? Like, do you say, yes, absolutely, I'm ready to go? What's my role in this? How do I help you secure a championship, a win? Like, where does it all come to fruition and come together?
Well, it started last year, probably before the 2021 Baja 1000. Luke called, reached out, and asked if I was interested. I pretty much called him back a day later and says I'm in. And last year, 2021, when we finished in La Paz, we were celebrating, and about the end of getting ready to leave, Luke said, you in again? And I said, absolutely. So, these Baja 1000s are, there's a lot of, it's a huge undertaking. And I've said this so many times, Luke is a lot like me. And, we start preparing for the Baja 1000 basically yesterday. And it's just year round work. Very important to dot your I's, cross your T's. It was an honor, honestly, when Luke called and to race with this team. And a lot of you guys know just the history of the McMillin family and the team and everything that, they're spot on with everything. And it's a pleasure to race with them.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's the professionalism and the level of, I don't know what you want to call it, badassness in the whole team is just super cool. One of the things, Luke, that I was looking at was it looks like you're about 22 minutes or so ahead of your brother. But, dude, at the beginning of the race, dude, he was giving you guys some heat.
Wait, time out.
Okay.
Yeah. I love you, Luke, but I had to go for your brother, and I actually thought he was.
One night, I think the night before the race, I go through it, and it goes, hey, I love Luke, but I got Dan and Road Dogg this race.
Oh, really?
I sent him some emojis like, oh, okay. And sure enough, I'm following Dan through Mike. I'm like, fucking Mila called it. Here I am following Dan,
Well,
Hey,
it's crazy because then I clicked back on.
Real quick, let Jason jump on real quick. Jason Duncan, jump on. I don't know if you can do it, but just request to join real quick. We'll get you on too. Because Jason sat in the passenger seat the whole race. Ironmanned it.
Jason's a bad dude. So crazy. Jason went right when I left Tisco. Jason jumped in with Gary. And then right when I left Tisco, Luke, they painted the 9 truck gold, and Luke went out and just killed it in that truck. I think there was a problem, if I remember correctly. But that's when I started liking Luke, because I said, if that kid can get in the trophy truck then and do damage, that's when you got on my radar.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Dude, he was just shredding.
Cut out there for a bit.
Hey, Rob, so who did what portions of the race? Because I didn't know any of that stuff.
So going back to speak about Dan was hauling the mail. He was all over me right from the start line, and he actually got ahead of me going down the Corridor Molina. We got a flat tire, and then we were able to get him back. He had a little bit of an issue with the motor that kind of went away, but he got in front of us. But yeah, it was. I started the race, ended up going all the way to Morelia Junction, and that's where Luke got in. We had a little bit of an issue. We lost the drive shaft down by about mile 270 or 265. Out of the truck, and Duncan and I got out and changed it. Took us about 20 minutes, and at that point, I know how bad I would want to win. I want to win the Baja 1000. It was 3 in a row for Luke on the line, and pretty much decided when we got the truck going again that I needed to start pushing right away. Dan ended up being first truck on the road down there in the washes. Bryce had a transmission issue, had to pull over and get that changed. And then Cameron lost a transmission. But, it was definitely, Duncan did an incredible job riding with both of us. I thought he was a little bit crazy. I think he wanted to solo the 1,000 last year, and I think Luke talked him out of it. But this year, he won over, and he did a heck of a job, and I give him a lot of credit for sitting over there that whole time.
Dude, Jason,
it's a lot of miles.
I was gonna say, Jason, how does your butt and your back feel?
It's pretty sore from San Felipe. We made a good push through there pretty much the entire time. So, needless to say, it was a pretty good ride through there. But I'm actually not as sore as I thought I was going to be. That night, the back of my neck was a little tight, but it only lasted that day, and I don't know if it just went away or I've maybe medicated enough to where I don't feel it with all the celebrations, I'd say.
Yeah,
there you go.
You got to hydrate a little bit afterwards and put some of it away, put some of the pain away, right?
Yes.
But I was going to say, just as a kudos to both the guys that you rode with, that you pretty much couldn't get any better drivers, right? I mean, there's some seriously good driving skills in the left-hand seat with you sitting in the right seat. So they obviously did their due diligence to help you.
Yes, absolutely. And the trust that they have in me to be able to, direct at least Luke. Rob did his own notes, so I was kind of going just along for the ride with Rob. He uses lead nav, and it talks to him like Google Maps,
Yep.
rock on right and 300 feet. And so that was definitely interesting. It was cool, though, to work together with that. There's a couple times where, it's a computer, so it glitches, and I tried to feel in when I could and, read off and reset it. And but it was really good going with both of them. And like I said, the trust that they have in me. And I also do the suspension with all my employees at SDG. And that definitely contributed to everything that we got that day.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool to see, man. And I liked that. I don't want to say there was adversity because I hate when guys are out of the race, right? But I like that it was there was so much happening, especially within the first 2/3 of the race, right?
Yeah,
there was so much that happened. So what's the move then, Luke? When you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I got to catch up, we got to do all these things. How are you directing the truck, so to speak?
Yeah, we lost. It was crazy. Rob and I were talking after the race. We had a half an hour of downtime all in all at the race, but I knew Rob knew what to do after they lost the drive shaft. I was sitting there just watching the minutes go by, and Duncan did an amazing job changing it. But I think he changed it in probably between 18 and 20 minutes, about 20 minutes. And, I was watching the tracker. It was crazy right away. Mile 160, everyone fell off, and there's just 5 trucks going. And Rob did some pretty cool things, passing Bryce and stuff. So we're having a good day. And then the drive shaft let go, and that's 20 minutes of downtime. And actually, my cousin ended up calling me. He called me, and I pick up the phone. It's, curious why Bebo's calling me. He goes, hey, how's your day going? I said, it could be better. We just lost a drive shaft. And he said, well, you're going to get back in it. And I said, I don't know. I'm not going to, put 20 minutes on you. And he goes, well, we're stuck in 3rd gear. And then so I'm watching the tracker.
Yeah.
We got my brother and Cameron ahead of us, and Rob did a great job. He closed the gap down to Cameron. And then kind of our strategy was, I wanted to run some of the desert. So when I got in, I think I told Duncan, I said, Duncan already knows, but we're not here for second. And Rob had the same mentality. So he closed in on people. And then I jumped in, and I wanted to run a little bit of the desert. So that was kind of part of the strategy a little bit for me, was I want to make sure I can run a couple of washes because I feel like I can, as well as Rob, can make up time through there and stuff. And when I got in, it was full send. It was, let's catch these guys. And I wanted to be the first truck to go into Mike's. I knew my brother was doing a driver change. So we pushed pretty dang hard right away, made up 8 minutes on the guys ahead of us. Our Sierra lost the transmission. And then from there, it was just cruise mode.
I was crazy the gap you guys had on the other side of Mike's. I was so surprised.
Yeah. No, we went up into Mike's, and, I was a minute 20 behind Dan, and I was on ice late, but I heard my dad kind of get on the radio a little bit and talk to Dan, just, hey, cruise it, and, I'm just thinking, wow, we got 45 minutes behind us running 1 and 2, don't screw this up.
Yeah.
Don't screw it up for the team.
That's
but
like-
I wanted to win.
Dude, that's got to be the ultimate brotherhood like dream, right? 1-2 Baja 1000. I mean, the only thing obviously to make it better is maybe a peninsula run, but even then, dude, it's still a lot of work.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. For the whole team, it just felt like another pre-run. I mean, that's Dan and I do. We follow each other around pre-running. So Dan was on the radio cracking jokes to Duncan. I was, full race mode, freaking out in the dust.
Really?
Just
rad.
Trying to catch Dan, and he's on the radio just hooting and hollering and cracking jokes and, telling us, hey, watch out on the left for this. Hey, you better slow down right here, and, all kinds of shit. Duncan's
That's
laughing.
rad.
I'm like, what are you laughing at? He's like, your brother's having a great time.
Dude, that's so funny, man. CGP Racing said there was no cruise mode when you burned by them at like mile 640-ish.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick,
Man,
I did 1,000, obviously a few times, but I did one, and I was in the truck for 700 miles, and I got out, and I was just exhausted. Duncan, when you're in there and you have Rob and Luke, who, in my opinion, are two of the best drivers, when you're at like mile 700, are you just mentally fatigued and then just kicking yourself because you still have to be on your A game because these two guys are still fresh?
Yeah, to a point, it does obviously get a little wearing on you. Eating helps, peeing helps. You have to stay hydrated and drinking, and keep flushing your system. But I know it's funny you say around. I think it was actually 680, probably about 11:30. Luke made the comment of, "Are you tired?" And I'm like, no, not tired at all. I'm good. And
he called the next note in the middle of a yawn.
Oh!
I guess I am a little tired. And then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to do this next year, there's going to be another 8 hours on top of what we just did. So I've got to mentally prepare myself for that. But,
It's a lot.
But yeah, it is. I am human. It's not easy. And
Hey, so
but it was fun.
I got a question that I always love asking all you guys. Rob, I don't know if Amber's still there or not. Is she?
Oh yeah, she's watching over me.
All right. So Amber, what did you pack in Rob's cooler this time? Like, what was the snacks to get him
What's his
through
go-to?
pre-running stuff? Yeah. Well, I know. I think it was like she told me it was Reese's Pieces or Reese's peanut butter cups or
I heard
Snickers
that.
or something.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, he eats Snickers.
That's what it was.
He has to do. People think, the classic thing is they ask him, hey, what did you do to prepare yourself for the race? What do you eat, Rob? What's your exercise? And he likes his snacks, and he doesn't eat the way you guys think. And his exercise is basically wheeling all the time. That's about it.
Okay, so
I support that.
Yeah, I support it 100%, man. So the key to being the GOAT is just eat Snickers. So Mila, get on top of it, dude. Go get some Snickers.
And drive fast.
All right, so let's switch it over to you, Jason. What's your go-to for all the food in the truck or leading up?
To be honest, normally on the short races, I won't eat. A little disclaimer that my worst fear is having to go to the bathroom and not number one. So I'm
the Mark Wyrick at Parker.
But it was actually kind of funny this year. I was really comfortable, and I know going up to it, I was eating really good. So I know when I sat down with Rob at the driver's meeting and I opened a Pizookie, which I don't know if you know what a Pizookie is, but it's a chocolate chip ice cream or a chocolate chip cookie with ice cream on it. And he says to me, do you have a catheter for that? I'm like, holy crap. But I know it's, eating well. Obviously, I went to Stella's, had some chicken Alfredo to carb load the night before. And then during the day, throughout it, I have a Cliff Bar or those like energy packs. Just nibbling throughout the day definitely helps. Keep you alert and mental. And so this time I did have the Cliff Bar. The white chocolate macadamia nuts are my favorite.
Yeah, that's good, dude. All right, so Luke, what's your diet going into the race and then through the race, like in the truck?
Goo packs.
Gotcha. Diet, I don't know. A lot of Valley Tea tacos.
Yeah.
A lot of Valley Tea tacos.
Those are my favorite.
San Matias burritos in the morning. So a lot of that, wasabi almonds, always snacking on those pre-run stuff. But in the truck, it's usually a Cliff Bar.
Dude, that's my kind of guy, dude.
I try to eat and drink as much water as I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I have 2 drinkers in the truck, and at the 1,000, I put them both, fill them both with water because I said, Rob, you drink out of the left one, I'll drink out of the right one, so we both can have water. But at the longer races, I'll do one with water and the other one watered down yellow Gatorade. So
yeah, get some electrolytes and
some sugar.
So that's kind of what I do. But I think the biggest key in the truck, and Rob said it, and I noticed it too, is just drink as much water as I can in the truck.
100%.
The more hydrated you're just going to think more clear, and you got to eat. I used to not eat, and when I was back testing with the Dakar team, the minis and stuff, I was talking to all those guys, Peter Hansel and all those guys, and they asked me, what do you eat? I said, I don't eat. I have a sip of water every now and then, and they just looked at me and they said, you can't do that. I said, I feel fine. They go, nope, you're not performing as good as you can if you're not eating or drinking water the whole damn time. So
not at all.
I'll do a Cliff Bar every now and then. Duncan's crazy. He doesn't eat nothing, but
yeah, I don't know how you guys do it.
Like, do dairy the night before the race.
I love asking these questions to see where people are at.
It's so all over the board.
So just a quick story. Like I have done Ironman. I used to do long distance bicycle events and triathlons and stuff like that. And we have to have such a strict diet, especially like on race day and stuff like that. So I love hearing what these guys eat. But I tell you what, after I did my last Ironman, I crossed the finish line and I said, "Fuck this! I'm never doing it again." Went straight and got tacos and have never quit since.
I agree with that.
Duncan, tell them the story about the pit with your hydration.
You're on mute.
You're on mute.
You could tell it.
You were on mute. So,
There you are. So yeah, speaking of catheters, at the first tire change, of course, it fell off because normally when I get out and I'm like Tasmanian Devil,
you step on it
on the truck, it falls off. And it did. So I didn't pee from the first pit stop until hole in the wall when we came back around up before the goat trail. And,
wow.
At the time we were troubleshooting like a water pressure. It's just so cold that the water pressure got kind of low, and I'm talking and I'm on different pages and I'm looking at stuff, and we ended up getting a flat. And I should have stopped and peed then because we had enough time, but I didn't. I waited till the speed zone, and I told Luke, don't look over here. I unzip, and I peed just on the floorboard, but it's not in one little location. It's everywhere. And we stopped. They take the skid plates off.
We're looking for a water leak.
Oh, no way, dude.
And I didn't think about it. They pop up. Did you go through any puddles? Like, yeah, kind of. And then they're like, did you just pee? And I'm like, oh, yeah, everywhere.
No way.
Epic.
Yeah. So that was it was pretty funny this morning. I went by the shop, and the shop guys are like, thanks, Doug.
Yeah.
You're definitely dehydrated.
We didn't think of it. They pull in, we're looking for a water leak, and I don't know how I didn't remember that he just whipped it out and just peed everywhere. Like,
wow.
We're just like, oh, yeah, he did pee.
Oh, my God.
That's so rad.
Hey, Jason, I'm sorry, but this is going to be the clip that makes it onto the social media that we're all going to share, dude.
No problem. I had to do that because it was so cold. Earlier in the day when it fell off, obviously, I peed, and you'd think it'd make you warmer. But because it was so cold outside,
not out there.
I'm like, there's no way I'm peeing myself. It's going to be frozen.
Dude, that's hilarious. Oh, man. Going through the years, Rob, though, you've probably seen so many funny stories like that, but this is a good one for sure.
Yeah. Definitely good times with the McMillin team, and Duncan's a crack up. And I was even telling stories during the race, telling him some stuff that back in my days and having fun and stuff like that as we're going on the race. So it was pretty chill. When the team was as prepared as well, and I think Luke can elaborate on that. I think leading up from the Baja 400 all the way up to the Baja 1000, I think everything went really, really well in preparation for the race, and I think everybody was just calm and level-headed, and the race just flowed really well.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think about it like that, because, there's so much that goes into it like we had just talked about, but when you have that level of professionalism and how you guys actually worked as a team, it really does make it feel like it's easy after it's all said and done, doesn't it, Luke?
Yeah, for sure. No, the team works really well, and like Rob said, it was the preparation up to the point. I mean, organization's everything. It's the key to success. I think I fully believe that, and so leading up to the race, it was pretty figured out on what we're going to be doing, what parts we're going to be running, exact timeline we're going to be prepping on. Everything's called out and organized, and the guys do a great job following kind of the protocol, and it's just a recipe for success, really, if you just do it in the most organized manner you can and know what you're doing and have a plan and stick to it.
All right,
I think the synergy, real quick. I think the synergy too, right? So you guys, right. I know Duncan and Luke, Bree and Jen hang out, and they hang out all the time. And I know between you and Rob, I mean, it's such a great synergy. I mean, that only adds to the preparation they have. That you can't fail with that.
Yeah, it really is. Hey, so we only got I think about 2.5, 3 minutes left. I kind of want to go around and ask Rob. Why don't you start, and then we'll end with Luke. What was your favorite part of the whole? Well, you're probably out there for a week and a half, 2 weeks. Like, what was your favorite part of the whole experience this year?
The finish line and the celebration, the champagne. It was pretty cool to hang out with everybody. We were able. A lot of times when you get to the finish line, scores ushering you off. Get out of here. You got to go. We got more coming in. So, we were there. Dan was there about 15 minutes later, and we hung out all the way. Another hour till Rossler showed up and just. Told stories, laughed, and had a good time, and a lot of the crew was able to all gather at the same place at the same time. So I'd say for me, ultimately, all that hard work that was led up before. I was down there for 10 days pre-running, and all that hard work led up to a win, and it was definitely fun at the finish line.
How about you, Jason?
You're on mute.
You're on mute again.
Sorry, I'm walking into a fundraiser. It's kind of loud over here, but my favorite part was definitely in San Felipe when Rob's telling me stories. We're chasing down Bryce, and he takes the race course, which is way rougher. He says we got to stay out of Bryce's dust, and I have no notes. And he goes, I don't have notes over here, but I know where I'm going. Keep an eye on him because he's gonna be right there. I was like, okay. I look over. The helicopter is pointed at Bryce. He's to our left. And I see Bryce, and we are dead even with each other. And I look down, I see the VCP that we have to hit, and he said he's going to come in right at it, so make sure we're clear. I looked at it, and I said, go. It's wide open. Don't lift. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. And then we literally come in within, I think we were 3 car lengths in front of him, and it was amazing, especially for the second time. It was so rad.
Dude, that is super cool.
Rad.
Yeah, like I love hearing little stories like that. How about what your favorite part, Luke?
I mean, obviously the obvious is the finish line. We're down there for 10 days, and honestly, you talked about the synergy and stuff. Rob, Duncan, and I, we're down there to win, and that's it. So the pressure and the stress and everything leading up to it isn't a lot of fun. It's fun, but at the same time, it's like this is only going to be fun if we pull off the win, So obviously, the finish line. But for me, it's the night pre-running. I love the nights down in Baja. That's my favorite part about the Baja 1000 is night driving. So I had a lot of fun with that. I had a lot of fun pre-running as kind of, Duncan and I were working on just even in the pre-runner some different driving styles and stuff and just trying to figure out the differences. Like, man, why can I drive at night and not during the day, So we kind of played around with that a lot. And, so night driving down in Baja, night pre-running is probably one of my favorite things.
Dude, that's so cool to hear, man, because it's such a different mindset for each individual person, right? Yeah. Like, I love hearing those stories. Rob, that's so cool that Jason got to experience a little bit of the I don't know what you want to call it, the veteran mentality. You're like, dude, I got this. Just tell me if I can pin it.
Let me know.
Super cool. All right, boys. We got to get a couple other people on here. Man, I'm so proud of each and every one of you for all of the work that you guys have put in. Obviously, the rewards are because of that teamwork and all of the stuff that you guys have done over the past years and years of putting all this stuff together. So congratulations, Jason, as well, even though he dropped off. Man, I can't wait to see you guys at the next races.
Yeah. And you guys are both the face of off-road, and you represent it well. So good on you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, thank you, guys. We'll see you guys later. Have a great one.
See you guys. Later, Rob.
See ya.
Man, that is so cool. Like, just understanding the mentality of all of the things that happen behind the scenes. Like,
that's a lot.
That's exactly what I had envisioned when I started the Dirt Life show. It was exactly that, right? Like, just to kind of get a feeling of what's going on because people are the
Behind
most
the
important.
scenes.
People are the most important thing, right? Like we all love racing,
Right.
but it's the people that we love the most, right? Like we all have our favorite drivers, we all have our favorite trucks, we all have our favorite class, like all that stuff. So when you see stuff like this and you understand the behind the scenes, like, dude, it just puts a smile on my face.
It's a different level, right? So the 90% of it is what you see on the outside. It's the race, it's the face, it's the people. But what gets the people there, and what gets people motivation to get to the finish, and that's fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so please log on real quick, Ethan. And Ethan drove his Honda Talon, I think with Zach Sizlove and why am I forgetting his name?
Elias?
But anyways, no, Elias was in a different car. But they drove it to second place finish. So Ethan, jump on real quick, and we'll talk with you a little bit. I think Joe Whining was going to try to jump on a little bit too, and see if we could hang out with him. Unfortunately, Jeff Proctor's not going to be able to jump on. His head was hurting a little bit, so we're going to let him get some rest. Man, Baja really does it to you. So it's cool to see. How do I want to put this? We just
Eloquently.
talked about, eloquently. But that's kind of a word that I was looking for, like how eloquently they are. Like they just put in so much work and they did so much stuff to be able to get to that finish line, and they're still so humble. Like
364 days they planned for that finish line.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, they're just like, we just put in the work.
Dude,
Super
exactly.
humble. That's why I love Luke and I love Rob. When I first met Rob, I overshowered him with compliments like,
Right.
"Oh, you're the man. You're always my favorite driver." And he's just like, "Whatever, man. I mean, I'm just a
He's
normal
just out there to
dude."
win races.
Yeah, he's just a bad dude. I love Rob.
He is. Factory Honda Talon driver Ethan Ebert. What's up, man? How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Feeling good. Not too sore, so that's nice.
Yeah, that's good, right? How many miles did you drive in the Honda Talon?
Like 645, six something.
Dude, that's
a
crazy.
couple miles.
Yeah, so you got a lot of seat time at this. This was your first Baja 1000. How was it, dude?
Dude, it was so rough. I mean, it was rough, and then it was nice in areas, and then it would just get rocky and bad in other areas. So, but overall, it was just a really fun track.
It looked really cool. What was the favorite part that you had out there?
Honestly, probably getting back into the car, just because it was so weird. Because I've never done that before, so I've never gotten out, started a race, gotten out halfway through the race, and then gotten back into it. So it's just a different feeling, and it was really cool to feel when we got to the finish line, it was like, dude, we started this race yesterday. It was just kind of cool to think that.
Yeah,
a long day.
And it's being your first one, now you probably on the way home, because it looks like you're already back home in Arizona. Now on the way home, were you just thinking dude, I could have changed this little thing. I could do this better. I could do this better.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking that the whole way, because it was we really, really wanted to get Zach's car on the podium and give him a win, but we just pushed, and pushed, but Kaden obviously had a better plan, and he was able to take the win from us. So, we're definitely going to plan to win for next year, and we're going to go out swinging. Yeah,
dude, it was super cool to see though, because like I said, it's we're gonna get your co-driver Joe Whining on here real quick too. But it was cool to see because I don't know what you want to call it, but the level of maturity that you had shown was something I honestly didn't expect. I was pretty impressed, dude. Joe, you probably were pretty impressed by the kid maturing so fast too, huh?
Yeah. No, he killed it. He killed it. We were able to chase him down and do some good racing with him for a while, and we had some mechanical failures, and we got that fixed and got going again, and that kind of get it to the finish from there.
Yeah, it's cool to see though. We just talked about the level of professionalism. I don't know if you guys were watching when Rob and Luke and Jason were just on, but the level of professionalism in off-road is really coming. I don't know. I wasn't in it a long time ago, but to me, it feels like it's really increasing, right?
100%.
It's showing a lot more, and these guys are starting their. Ethan is starting his young career. Joe has been in off-road for a long time. Do you see a lot of that evolution of the actual sport, Joe?
Yeah, I see a lot more young talent coming in, which is really neat.
With more of a professional face,
yeah,
right?
That's kind of what I mean. Yeah, thank you.
Young talent like Ethan with a professional face. It didn't used to be like that.
Correct. Yeah, no, the media has brought in so much of that and the sponsorship and stuff like that to where obviously the professional side of it's got to be there in order for them to proceed on. So it's been neat. And of course the technology with the equipment and the cars it just keeps going every year. It's just getting better and better and better and better. And it's pretty neat.
So I was looking at some of the times. I don't know if you guys got to look at the differences in times and stuff like that. Joe, when you were signing on, we were just asking Ethan, like, when you guys are driving home or you're kind of like doing your own debrief, whether it's in your head or with the team or something on the way home. We're going to talk with Kaden Wells just in a second here, but he really did. He put a hurting on the NA class at 23 hours, and then you guys were in second at 24 hours and 38 minutes. What kind of stuff did you guys learn that you could have done better to maybe give him a run for his money?
Well, didn't you say you had a mechanical?
We did have a mechanical. Ethan and I didn't get any seat time in Zach's car.
Yeah.
So that was the first time we sat and drove the car was in contingency.
Oh.
So both of us got in the car super fresh, not knowing what the car can do and what it can. And Ethan's got a good shoe, and he knows within probably 30 to 40 miles, we knew what the car could do and what we couldn't do. So there was a learning curve right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
There'd be just, a little bit different suspension tuning here and there, but yeah, like I say, and we did have a slight mechanical failure that put us down probably 40 minutes.
And so, Ethan, like for you, like as the driver, like what kind of stuff do you think you could have improved on?
Honestly, I probably could have improved on more of the technical stuff.
Kaden Wells just chimed in and said mile 80-ish that you blew his doors off.
We definitely tried because we were pushing, and we were actually able to get through some washed areas. And I'm actually really comfortable with the washed areas and stuff like that. I just kind of like hanging it on the edge, So we were getting through there, and we were able to catch up to 1957. I forgot his name, but 1957 in Kaden. And we were like, dude, I mean, the dust was gnarly, so we just kind of hung back, and all of a sudden it got really technical. And then we see Aiden and the other car in front of us, and we were like, oh, dude, we have an opportunity. Let's try to make it.
It says Joe Bolton, 1957, Joe Bolton.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I know him.
So, yeah, that was really cool. But, maybe just get through the technical stuff better, and then maybe we could have been closer. But, I mean, Kaden ran a flawless race. So,
yeah, I like that. Dude, spoken like a professional, right? Like he understands. But that's cool, man, because that makes it so that you understand what you got to do to get better. What was some of the things that you take away the most from this, like understanding? Do you think like man, I got to be in better shape, I could drive better, like were your cognitive reflexes good? Like what kind of stuff do you think you could give advice to other people or other kids that are entering, like their youth program to be a professional desert racer?
Just to keep your mindset of going forward and not looking back on stuff. Like, say if you blow a corner, like, oh man, I blew that corner. Oh, well, we always have another one in front of us. So just to kind of keep your mindset moving forward and just logging miles instead of going backwards in miles is what I can honestly kind of improve on, just because I kind of think back on a lot of stuff like during the race, like, oh, I could have done this or I could have done this. So if I just keep my mindset going forward instead of backward, I think that would be way better for me.
Yeah, Joe, like you can definitely vouch for that one. Being moto guys, like a lot of moto guys here on the show, the best thing about a motocross racer is they can forget really quickly what happened in the last corner.
Yeah, no, it does no good to sit there and dwell on that last corner because it's in the past. You can't change it. It's already done.
Mm-hmm.
So you just got to push forward. You know what I mean? And it's tough for a lot of people to get over that, but like I say, it's beneficial to be able to just keep going forward. That's why the windshield's so big and the rearview mirror is so small.
Exactly.
Dude, I love that.
That's
man.
a good analogy.
Well, Joe, you've done a lot of races like this in the past, and you've obviously shotgun with some very, very high-level drivers, including Toby Price and a bunch of other guys. But when you are sitting with, we're going to call Ethan a newbie, I guess is a good word for it. When you're sitting with somebody like him, what kind of advice do you give him to be able to go through such a long two-stint 600 and something miles in an 828-mile race?
Well, Ethan's a good driver. That's, you know what I mean? You kind of get a feeling for him right away when you're riding with him that, yeah, I'll continue riding or with him, or no, I don't want to continue riding with him. But I try not to tell him too much because he's actually pretty damn good. But I try to do some pointers here and there just to make it better for both of us. You know, we raced 600 and some miles the other day, and it's tiring, especially in the UTV. It's tough. Those those whoops in San Felipe are 4 foot deep, and we're on a 32-inch tire car. So it's like I say, it's just kind of be cool and serve the car and get it there. That's the main thing. It's just survival.
It's kind of
got to be there at the end.
Yeah, it's kind of wild to think about too. Like the differences, like Rob and obviously Luke and everybody that they're, I mean, because they're going wide open through those whoops, and then you get a normally aspirated UTV going through there. It's a completely different world, right? And actually, we're gonna have some Class 11 guys come on the show in just a little bit, like talk about a different world, right? So we just asked Luke and those guys, because I am always into this. Like, what do you guys do for snacks and stuff when you're in the car or when you're preparing for the race?
So I met with the nutritionist before this because the last race I wasn't able to continue just because I got heat stroke and was like really badly dehydrated. So we had a brand new plan for me to go on and all these electrolytes and all that stuff. But honestly, my favorite, it was like this little green, it's almost like go-go squeeze, you know, that like applesauce stuff. And it was pretty much like that, but it just had carbs and all that stuff in it, and it's actually really good. So I would eat one of those like every hour or so just to kind of keep my body and fuel and mind running perfectly fine.
Dude.
And an electrolyte drink instead of just plain water.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Joe, you're a veteran at this. What do you usually do? Just Coke and sunflower seeds?
No, it's funny because I was listening to Rob McCachran, and Jesse Jones and I used to do the same thing. A Snickers bar.
Yep.
You know, a Snickers bar's got chocolate. It's got peanuts. You know what I mean? And I pop up like a half of an ibuprofen, you know, a couple times during
just
a
to
long
thin
day,
the blood a little bit. Yep.
Snickers bar here and there, and obviously fluid. Just, you know, just like those guys were saying, just keep. Well, I couldn't tell you how many times I was peeing, you know, through a catheter.
Yeah.
Just keep hydrated, and just keep flushing.
Yeah. And you got in the Honda cars, they use the fluid logic system, so that's like super crucial.
Super.
So yeah, just a little funny backstory. The reason I said that was when I was just becoming a supercross racer, Joe was the mechanic that drove myself and a guy named Eric Anderson up to Seattle for a supercross race.
Really?
And I've never seen a dude drink more Coke and eat as many sunflower seeds as Joe did while we were driving up there, dude. But I'll never forget that, but I'll also never forget how awesome he was to have with us the whole time.
That's cool.
But so yeah, it's kind of cool to see, like, and as he matures, he's helping out all these new racers and kind of going with the programs and stuff. It's really, really neat to be able to see you evolve as well, Ethan. What was your guys' favorite parts of the actual race? Not like leading up to it, because I know you guys had some fun outside the race too.
Like in the actual race, I'm not too sure. It was pretty fun, like racing with Kaden and those guys just in the washes, just because it was almost like short course again. So it kind of got my mind racing to like, hey, get to the checkered flag like at the end of this lap or whatever, you know, just kind of battling for the win. That was honestly my favorite part, just because it was like we were all in a line, kind of like a train, and I got by him and then I got by Kaden, so it was really cool.
Yeah, actually, that is super cool, because you never really get to get door to door all that much. Like in 828 miles, you probably get door to door, I don't know, on an average 10 times or something, right? Like that's
Maybe.
cool. That's cool that you got the opportunity to do that.
For sure. It gets the adrenaline going.
Joe, did you feel like you were doing short course with sitting in the passenger seat?
It's so much fun when you get into heated battles like that. It's a blast, and you really shouldn't be doing it because you still got 750 miles to go. But it's awesome. It's fun. You know what I mean? But I have to agree with Ethan. That little heated battle was a blast. That was fun. At the end, towards the finish, after Ojos Negros, we had 30 miles to go, which is basically running the start of the Baja 1000.
Yeah, the other way. Yeah.
And, it was daylight, and we were having a good time, and we had lots of time. We had 40-some minutes in front of third place. And Ethan was just switched on. And we went through that whole last 30 miles, hitting all the marks and just cranking. And we didn't have to do that, but, it was just Ethan was switched on and hitting all the marks, and it was fun.
Yeah, I was just going to say what Mila said. He was in the zone. Like, when a driver's in the zone as a co-driver, you're like, nope, I ain't messing with them.
Nah.
Dude, it's a pleasure when you got a good driver, because it's
fun.
It's like fluid. It's bitching. It's fun.
Dude, so what made you get in that zone, Ethan? Because I was actually talking with some of your family, and they told me to send you a couple messages to pump you up. And I told you, I was like, dude, you got to go, man. So what made you get into the zone? You just had it in you, or like that backup effort?
Yeah, honestly, I was like, I know I'm not going to get first. I know Kaden already checked out. So I was like, I don't want to lose any more positions, because I really want to be like as far up the leaderboard as I can. And I heard Joe was like, hey, how far is Elias? And he said he was kind of close. So I was like, I kind of want to open that gap a little bit more. So I kind of just stopped thinking about everything else around me and everything else in the world, and just kind of locked in and said, okay, look at this dirt and just try to go fast.
Dude,
so that's all.
It's such a crazy good feeling when you're driving and you just kind of just zone everything out, and you're just part of the car and you're part of the course. It just feels so good.
I will tell you one thing, that this is one of the best things that I've heard, dude, in so long, is that you're changing, because I'm a big human energy guy, perception, all that stuff. You just change your perception in a matter of seconds, and then you just turned around everything that you were doing to make it better for yourself and for everybody around you. So if you can harness that same, I don't know what you want to call it, mind power or whatever, and use that to your advantage, that's a massive, massive thing, not just in racing, but in life. So keep that going forward, dude. That's super cool as a skill set for you.
And especially after a full day. You're on
Dude,
the last
and he's
30
so
miles
tired.
and you're running on zero sleep. I don't know how much sleep you got, but I know the 1,000, it's very, very, very little. And you can still tune that out and tune in. That's amazing, dude.
Dude, that is super cool. Did it feel good to be able to do that?
It felt so good, just because like you're not thinking about like literally anything. You're just thinking about how your hands are on the wheel and how much gas and brake and all that stuff. So it's honestly you just literally lock in, and there's nothing else that can really get in your mindset and mess you up. So
Dude,
that's kind of what I did on Kaden as well. Is I just kind of locked in and I looked at their mistakes and what they did in the corners, and I took an advantage of that, and I made better lines through it and just kind of did that. So it was just kind of like flowing like water.
Dude, you got to harness that power, son. Joe, it was probably cool for you to witness that too.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's always a pleasure when you can get in with somebody, and when they're switched on like that, you do your job and he's doing his job, and it's just it's almost like you can't screw up. Mm-hmm. It's cool. That's fun.
Yeah, that is super cool. Well, we're going to get Ronnie Anderson on here. Hey, congratulations, guys. You guys did a really good job this weekend. Congratulations on just completing your first Baja 1000, Ethan. That's a measure in itself, but coming home second, dude, you should be proud of yourself.
It's a big feat.
Oh, yeah.
All right, boys. Hey, enjoy it down there in Tucson. We'll see you guys later.
Later, guys. Thank you.
All right, good job, guys.
Later. All right, let's get Ronnie on here real quick.
Dog.
Man, don't you love hearing all because these stories are so different.
So different. And I love how, everyone takes away from the 1,000 differently. And to get each and every perspective is pretty cool. Hey, Ronnie.
Ronnie Anderson, what up?
What's up, guys?
Are you a big Bahama guy right now?
Big Bahama guy right now.
Is Drizzle with you?
Where's Jay Drizzle?
Oh, yeah, he's right here.
There he is.
Hey, guys.
What up, dude?
What up, JD?
How are you guys? All right, hold on. Let me get Ryan Edwards is going to come on and talk crap with us real quick. Do you guys both have your hair done?
Oh, yeah, we're Bahamian.
Dude, Ryan Edwards, what's up, man? Can you see, dude, look at Drizzle and Ronnie. They both have their hair done.
Jesus, you guys like on a date?
You guys fly out there yesterday?
What'd What's up?
Did you guys fly out there yesterday? When did you go to the Bahamas?
Yeah, we flew out last night, actually. We got here this morning.
Awesome.
Jesus.
Dude, that's pretty legit.
Mexico.
So
Dude, from Idaho to Mexico to the Bahamas. Where are you going after that, JD?
No plans yet. Probably stick in Idaho for a little while and then maybe back to California.
dude, he's going all over the place, man. Well, you're not as far as your brother, though. Your brother RJ, he couldn't join us tonight because he went all the way to Uruguay. Dude, that's gonna be pretty cool, though. He's gonna drive that Extreme E car. That's gonna be pretty rad.
Yeah, for sure. That's going to be definitely a really cool experience for him. Looks like it's already starting off pretty good, too. His Uber driver hit something in the road in DNF, so it's already getting a little bit of an interesting experience.
Epic.
No way. Is that a real thing? Like that happened?
Yeah. Look, if you look on his Instagram story, he was in an Uber going from the airport to the race, and they hit something in the road and totally DNF'd the front end of his Uber's car.
Oh,
dude, I'm gonna check this out real quick.
I think there was an update. He's getting picked up now by his buddy.
Wow.
Oh, dude, the car's smoked.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
wow.
you see that, Mila? A big Uber DNF in Uruguay, dude. That's a way to start it off.
At least he made it through Baja.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so Ronnie, like, what was some of the interesting stuff that happened while you guys were there?
Oh man, I mean, Baja is just a different animal. I mean, it was really cool being there and getting to share driving dudes with my dad and my brother, and it was my first ever Baja 1000. So I pre-ran and chased and stuff for RJ before, but still all new. I've never raced at night either, so I had 390 to 680. I got in around 10:30 and I got out at 5:30, so I never even saw daylight the whole time, and so that was a little interesting. The fog on the Pacific side was absolutely crazy.
Relentless.
Just absolutely blinding. Your face shield just absolutely white, watered up, and had to drive with no visor for a little bit, but it was cool. It was definitely a good experience and something I would never trade for.
Ryan, have you ever experienced some of that fog? That sounds gnarly.
When did we do the 500? 2020?
Yeah, like 2 years ago.
2 years ago, going through Europan, all the drop-offs and stuff, all we saw was like literally 10 feet in front of us.
That's my least favorite part of Baja is Europan. I could pass on that every time.
God.
Why?
And
What's
fog?
Just
You might as well do hammers in the fog. Like, it probably would have been easier.
yeah. And then, one of the things, Ronnie was saying he's got water on his lens, but if you're stuck in the dust, which I heard you guys were stuck in the dust most of the day, then you get the dust and the fog, it's relentless.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely crazy. I was in the battle with a bunch of spec trophy trucks pretty much all night long. So
Wow.
It was just a constant battle. We would get past them and then we'd pit. They'd get back past me. So it was definitely an interesting
and there never was fast enough sections for those trucks to get out in front of you.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, once you get to
everything
Mike's,
was
dude,
really
it's
tight.
it's
So it's like a
second gear.
Well, yeah.
I
That,
think me and Cole were stuck in 3 bottlenecks at night. 2 in Mike's and then 1 just after melling in a silt bed.
wait, who's?
Oh, yeah, I heard that silt bed was conquering a lot of people.
Cole Keats.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Cole Keats was your co-dog, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Who started the race?
RJ did. RJ took it to 390, him and Brian, and then I took it from 390 to 680, and then my dad took it from 680 to the finish.
Yeah, where Craig Scanlon wants to know where the real star is. Where's Hot Randy?
Craig, you're gonna have to get him on the Instagram. He's not quite on the social media platforms yet.
Oh man, he's not in Bahamas with you guys?
No, he's not out here.
Oh, so you and Jay Drizzle just went by yourselves? Just kidding.
Yep.
Yeah, told you it's their date.
Get your hair all dialed. What's the plan in the Bahamas? What do you guys got going?
Scooters.
Honestly, I have no idea. I didn't make any of the plans. So,
Dude.
I'm here with James.
It's the best way to travel.
So.
Hey, I will vouch for that. So we did the Bahamas, we did scooters, and we went around the whole island all over the place. Dude, it's pretty epic. And but just make sure it doesn't rain because it gets squirrely.
Dude, I heard some good stories on JD's bachelor party on the scooters.
In the Bahamas?
No, they were in Florida.
Yeah, we were actually just here not too long ago for Jay's bachelor party, and we took scooters around the whole island and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Oh, right on. So you already done it then. That's cool. Ryan, you guys had a good time down in Baja too, man.
Yeah. 6 days pre-running, hitting all the good spots, just living life.
Oh, hitting all the good spots for tacos.
My favorite, tacos in Valley T.
Yeah, Tacos Valley T, El Trailero. Stayed in that super weird hotel on the coast, but it was actually really nice. The Pirate Hotel.
Wait, what's that?
Oh, off of
Yeah, it looks like it's abandoned, and you get there, and there's like one lady running the place, but you get into your room, and it's like as nice as a Best Western here.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you been there, Ronnie?
Really nice.
No, I've never. I don't even know where
The course always goes right by it. Like it's right on the coast where you come off the cobblestone, and like you make a left and you go by it, and you're always like, "Oh, that looks abandoned."
Yep.
But yeah, we stayed there for 3 nights. It was actually pretty cool.
Dang, that's rad, man. You never know what you're gonna find down in Baja, dude.
Ever.
Never.
Hey, so whose idea was it, Ronnie, for the taco reviews? Are you gonna get on that train? Because I was kind of digging that.
Yeah, that was good.
That was
Yeah,
real
no,
good.
that was all RJ. That was all RJ. He ended up killing it. Everyone was posting pre-running reviews and stuff like that, so he hopped on the taco wagon and was giving everyone the taco reviews instead of everyone's already seen the course. Everyone's dropping pre-run videos, so he started dropping the taco review.
I fully support it.
Hey,
Yeah, that was good.
yeah,
Creative.
I supported that so much. I was like, yeah, all right, I cannot follow any trophy trucks anymore. I'm just gonna follow RJ around for now, just doing taco reviews. Hey, so yeah, Craig Scanlon, you should jump on real quick and hang out with us for a little bit. But yeah, so where is that Tacos El Rey or whatever it was? Is it on the north side of Ensenada?
It's, let me think, right where basically Tech was, next street up, like 2 miles south.
Dude.
So it's basically right on the main drag.
That was the one with the special taco we had?
That special one?
Yeah. It like had a chili in it or something.
Oh, that one was at Tacos El Poblano. Up
Oh,
when you were going
that
right
was good.
on the exit of the 3, right as
Yeah.
you're leaving town.
Oh no, dude, we've been to that one, haven't we, Ryan?
El Poblano?
that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
we went to, George.
Yeah, that one's fire.
It's pretty good.
That place
was
is
way
so
good.
good.
I'd never seen that special taco he got. That was like a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I actually wanted to go like check those things out, and Derek was from Optic Helicopter was actually asking about those things too. It's pretty cool that you could have all these different experiences, like go through the rigors of racing, and then obviously just have all this fun too. Craig Scanlon, what's up, homie?
What's up?
Dude, so we're all talking about tacos and racing. This is my perfect moment.
I did what the muchacha, whatever those burritos are. in the
Machaca?
Yellow barn, the yellow house. Those are mine right there.
Oh, the ones after Valley T.
Yeah, at Alexis or whatever.
Muchaca burritos. I
That
could
guy makes a
those
good
all day.
quesadilla too.
Oh, really? Didn't have
Yeah.
that.
Fire.
Dude.
Yeah, look at how pretty. I gotta admit, Ronnie's hair does look fantastic
Well,
today.
he's on a
It
mandate right now.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Going to the Bahamas.
He doesn't want to show off Drizzle though. He just wants everybody to look how good his hair looks. Look at him. Check him out.
Well, and JD actually won the race too.
That he did.
They look like they're waiting like in line at a restaurant right now.
Are you guys? Where are you guys going?
Well, we're headed to the casino here in a little bit.
Oh.
Gotta spend those winnings.
This whole Bahamas getaway is suspect, if you ask me. I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand how you end up in the Bahamas.
Straight after Mexico too.
Yeah, I want your life. I want your life.
I don't think Ronnie even knows what to say, dude. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It is pretty suspect. So, man, did you guys see each other out on course at all, Craig and Ronnie?
No. We saw them at K77. We helped them pit. I wasn't in the car yet. We were just we waited till Max went through, and then we waited a little bit, and then Hot Randy walked over, and we helped pit for those guys quickly, and RJ was back out on course. I think we saw him again. Oh, we saw RJ and you on the side of the road at the very end when we were re-racking the tire. But not much. I kept waiting. Hot Randy, I went pre-running with him for about 30 miles, and I realized he was pre-racing, not pre-running. And I ran out of town and took the rear fender off my car trying to keep up with his old ass, and I was like, I'm out. So I was waiting. I'm not lying to you. The last 150 miles, I knew he was in the car, and I was just waiting to see the orange and blue pop up behind me somewhere. But he never found us. So
Dude, that's so funny, man. Like, could you imagine that? Like the mentality.
Oh yeah, trying to keep up with Hot Randy.
Oh, Hot Randy still got it, Ronnie?
Oh yeah, he's probably the fastest one out of all three.
I don't know. I mean, I would love to see the three of you race like a short course against each other.
I say we put him in some Class 11s.
Against each other or something.
Yeah, dude. Nobody realizes how fast all three of those guys are. If you ever go trail riding with them, they're effortlessly going and riding, and you're doing everything you can to keep up with them on your way to Pirates or something. It's like same with JD. JD always has some like
back from Pirates.
yeah, but
Then it gets faster.
They just it's what they do. All of them. It's not a big surprise to realize how fast RJ and Ronnie is when you go and ride with Randy. I remember one of the first times I was ever in a racer. It was out in Barstow, and we were testing. And he's like, as long as the whoop isn't over the hood, you can ride on top of it. So just don't put that off. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't think that works like that. But you know, and so he would just sit there and punch me until I'd stay in it and not let off the throttle and let the car do what it's supposed to do.
I can just see it right now, Ronnie. Like your dad's looking over at Craig, going, "Dude, it's science. Just give it gas.
Just get on top. Get on top."
Yeah.
Yep.
I was so stoked to see the three of you guys do so well, though. Congrats, guys.
Thank you. Congrats to you as well on your second. That was cool.
It was all right.
It's all right.
But it's such a cool thing. That's what Mexico is all about, though. Like the two sons and the dad racing and you know doing as well as they did. That's a memory that you can never lose. Like the pictures don't do it justice. That's something you just got to feel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely something that I would never ever trade for. It's super cool. I would definitely do it again 1,000 times.
Yeah, so that's exactly where I was going to take this conversation, Craig. Thank you. Like, so Ronnie, like, what was the plan going into it? Were you guys already planning to do it, or just kind of fell together?
Yeah, it kind of fell together, I guess, probably like 4 or 5 months ago. And then RJ and I, being short course racers that we are, don't like doing too many miles, so we knew we needed a third driver, and there's no better person than Hot Randy, because if you've been to the river, you've seen his razors that he has there, and how he just absolutely drives them as fast as he can and never, ever breaks one of them. So we knew that he was the perfect finisher to get in the car when it was 680 miles and drive as fast as he can and have a perfect smooth race.
Did you guys give him the car like in good condition and in a good spot, or did he make up ground and like help you guys out quite a bit?
We gave him the car. We were still about an hour down. Once we gave him the car, he made up, I think, about 10 minutes. At the end, he got a flat and some stuff, but overall, he did really good. It was really cool.
Dude, the times are pretty close, though. So let's go through the top three. Was Wieland 21:15, Phil Blurton 21:28, and you guys at 22:19. Like, so you guys were hauling the mail, dude. That's a pretty good time.
Yeah, because what did the first spec truck finish? 20 hours, I think.
Trophy truck spec. No, he was 17:49.
17. I think second was 20 or something like that.
No, the spec trucks were pretty fast.
Not off it.
Did you get stuck in that bottleneck, Ronnie? Up on
he
the
did.
Up on the hill?
We saw him up there.
Ugh.
Yep. RJ got stuck in that first one, and then me and Cole were in 3 more. 2 up and through Mike's, and then 1 in a silt bed after mailing.
Yeah. Did you guys get stuck in any bottlenecks, Craig? Because we didn't see you up there with that first one or whatever. But
No, we didn't get stuck in the first one. He's got to be creative. Got all-wheel drive.
Blaze your own trail.
Yeah. No, not too much. We had a pretty clean race from that perspective. So we were lucky. We were lucky in that fact.
Yeah, and
hey, Ron, I think it's almost time for you to not just call yourself just a short course racer. I mean, you're starting to.
I know you guys got enough desert miles now.
It's true.
We're getting there. We're getting there slowly but surely.
do you want to do more desert races, Ronnie?
Yeah, I enjoy them. I definitely still enjoy short course more. Just the adrenaline and sprinting, I definitely like a lot more. The desert thing's more of a learning curve for me. More of nutrition and pacing yourself and pacing the car for a little bit is a little more different. But the cars are getting so good that now we are almost sprinting the whole time, which is really cool. So it is a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying the desert stuff for sure.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. We should have JD, since he's sitting back there, answer this too. Is like just seeing like the amount of speed that the UTVs have now is just, dude, it keeps blowing my mind. Like last year they weren't going anywhere near this fast.
No, it's crazy how fast they're going.
Yeah, what do you think,
Look at the
JD?
time, I think Sims was 20th overall out of everybody, which is impressive.
That's pretty impressive.
Dude, that's freaking flying, man. And well, Craig wasn't too far behind there either, man. He was definitely hauling the mail too.
But when you're going through Mike's,
He'll tell you.
Can you say that again, Craig?
And all you have to do is ask Branden how impressive he is. He'll tell you.
Oh, Branden, we all love him so much. Man, so it is crazy for me to see that though, because I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many NA cars you've driven, JD, but you guys were hauling in Kaden's car. We're gonna talk to him next too.
Yeah, no, that car definitely, it's quick. I think down the coast, I hit 84, 86 miles an hour in an NA car. It's a fast car for sure.
Dude, that is pretty fast.
The first time I ever drove it was when I got in it at the race, during the race.
That is pretty fast. Let's see here. We got a question for Craig from Paul. Was the race into the finish fun for real?
I heard that's the shittiest area.
Yeah, no. I mean, the last 30 miles is great. There's
but before that, from El Alamo to Ojos.
Before that is especially when you've been up all night long and chasing 10-car dust for hours. It gets a little sketchy.
What was your favorite part of the race, Ronnie?
Honestly, I actually really enjoyed driving during the night. I actually liked driving with just lights on and no sunlight. I thought it was really fun, and actually thought I could read terrain a lot better than what I can during the day. I really enjoyed it, and I actually enjoyed the first 70 miles. Actually, it was a little rough of my section, but it was fun. It was a little fast, and it was pretty good.
Yeah, I think Brett Carpenter actually made up the same point that I was thinking. Craig was. I think Paul was actually talking about the race to the finish with Phil Blurton. Yeah, well, so let me preface this though, because it was badass that Phil was giving him a little love, but. The finish is way before that. That's just for the fans, to come around the corner. So the finish was already decided way back, way before that. But it was kind of cool to see you guys just giving each other a little bit of love, cruising around that corner, man. They made it good for the fans.
For sure.
Yeah, that's the funny part. Most people, when they watch the video, they think we're truly racing.
Battling to the finish, yeah.
But yeah, it was already decided miles and miles before that. But Phil and I go back a long ways, and yeah, it was fun to. He started kicking it up a notch, and I saw him in the mirror, and I'm like, all right, let's do this. Let's throw it around the corner. But what would have been really great is if both of us would have spilled ourselves on our sides.
Oh, yeah, turtle it right at the finish.
Ronnie, that's total short course move right there, battling at the end.
Yeah, for sure. That was really cool. I didn't know that until I saw the video, actually. I think yesterday I saw it. But yeah, that was really cool having him come through the finish like that. That was rad.
Yeah, Savage UTV guy captured that, so kudos to him. Hey, we got to get Kaden Wells on, so thank you guys very much. Ronnie, enjoy your mandate with Drizzle.
Later, guys.
Right on, boys.
Hey, we'll see you guys later. Thanks, Craig. Bye, Brian.
See you guys.
Peace out.
All right, so we're going to get Kaden Wells and Emma Cornwell on here too and hang out with them. Dude, it's so fun to hear everybody's stories. I can't tell you how much this means to me, and I was down there.
Yeah. Well, it's different perspectives. Everyone's got their own little spot.
Dude, totally. Well, I'm just saying, what's your vibe right now? Are you happy hearing all these stories?
Oh, I love hearing these stories from everybody.
Dude, super cool, right?
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Kaden is coming on. Let's have Emma join too real quick, and then or maybe they're both together.
Brando just posted Team Pandemonium for the win. Those guys are always having a good time. You'll never see Ronnie and them with a frown on their face.
Yeah,
it's just
ever,
a great
right?
crew.
Kaden Wells, Emma Cornwell, congratulations!
Congrats.
Thanks.
So
you're not in Bahamas with JD.
Yeah, what the heck?
We're going tomorrow to Turks and Caicos, actually.
Oh, well, there you go.
Dude, so how does all this stuff happen? So you go
I guess
to
we gotta
Baja.
win.
Well, Kaden's probably been there for 2-3 weeks now. You go to Baja and then you're like, all right, I'm done. I'm going on vacation.
Yeah.
I would be like, yeah, I'm going to chill at home.
It's not a bad life. I would do it.
It's my friend's wedding, and it's been planned for 2 years.
Oh my God! Thank goodness.
Did you thank your friend for not planning it on the Baja 1000
That's
weekend?
exactly what I was going to say.
I really did. In my head, I was so worried about it, and then I start school on Monday too, so it's the week between it, and I'm like, yeah, Perfect.
That's so crazy. Kaden, so we were talking about with Branden Sims and like everybody earlier about pre-running and like different strategies. And some people think they do better without pre-running. Some people think they do better with pre-running. I know that you really like to put in a lot of homework. What's your opinion?
I think pre-running is definitely useful. Even if you're just running the track, you at least know where you're going, but also the seat time in the car is beneficial, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
I totally agree.
Emma, you agree with that as well?
Yeah, definitely. We saw the changes we pre-ran San Felipe like a week before the race, and then we ran it at night, and like I thought we had some dialed notes, and even at night it was like, what the heck, where did those lines go? You know?
So different.
The pre-running, it would have been way more difficult.
Because it changes so much?
Totally, yeah.
It'll change from day to day.
Like, okay of whoops or whatever, like not a big deal. We got there and they were way worse. So I couldn't imagine if you had no clue that they were coming up at all, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Like, I don't know, man. Like, whenever we race dirt bikes, like, I would love to get as much practice as possible.
100%.
Yeah, and like in short course, you get 3 laps, and I was like, God, please give me more. So
Yeah.
like, and I've obviously been pre-running and stuff with Kaden and Emma, and they do so much homework, man. Like, it's so cool to see the way that the level of professionalism that they have too.
You gotta do it.
Yeah, totally. So what were some of the like most I don't know what you want to call it, key milestones throughout the race that helped you guys win?
I don't know. In Ojos, we ended up retuning the car, so we had the lead, and then went back to, I think, last or close to last in class, and then ended up working our way back up.
30 miles in, you retuned the car?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so we retuned it right there. I tuned it before the race, and I guess it just wasn't what the car wanted, or.
Right out of the speed zone, we like hit a jump and landed, and he looked in the mirror, and it was just like white smoke everywhere.
Oh,
like,
what?
Oh my God, the engine, we might have just lost the engine.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. Were you guys scared or like, oh, we got to like fix this, or like, what's the like? Because I wouldn't even know what I would do at that point.
Yeah, I was. Well, I saw it and I was like, out or something, and then it kept driving, and then I was like, it can't be the motor if it's still driving after that. So I was thinking like shock reservoir might be leaking, or a coolant line, something. I kept looking at coolant temp and just making sure, and it kept going, and I looked every once in a while and I'd be smoking more, and then ran perfect the rest of the race.
Dang, dude, that's
good.
crazy.
That's good.
Well, thank goodness you got your prep game tight, dude. That's freaking, because that's crazy, man. Most people would freak out with that.
Well, and that you have the tuner on the car.
Yeah, I think the tune I ended up putting in is what I already had in the car before I changed it the day before the race. So it was my mistake on that part. But
Robert Campbell just chimed in and said that you passed most of the field in the next 100 miles or so. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that was mile 30. We retuned it, and then popping out at kilometer 77, we were back in the lead again. And then after that's when Ethan came by in the wash again. He was ripping. We tried staying ahead of him. I thought it was actually a turbo car, and I was like, I can't move over right now. Like, ruts are deep and trees on both sides, and I'm still 64 inches, so I was struggling. And I blew the next corner, and it was Ethan, and he was ripping, and I was like, holy cow, I don't know if we're going to run with that. And then going back over the summit and the technical stuff, we snuck by him and ended up staying out front.
Dude, yeah, that's pretty cool though, man, right? Like, did you, because I don't know if you saw, but we talked to Ethan a little bit ago, and he was like, yeah, my favorite part of the race was battling with Kaden down the washes.
Yeah, it definitely surprised me. I thought it was Elias at first, and then went by, and I was like, oh, I thought Zach was actually driving the car. I didn't know it was Ethan until I was looking at the updates, and I saw on, I think, Proctor's page. I'm like, dang, he's definitely ripping.
Yeah, that's cool. But we just had JD. Unfortunately, he couldn't join you guys because he's on a mandate with Ronnie Anderson. So how was he as a driver with you guys? He's a fun dude to have around, right?
Yeah, he's awesome. he ran about 300 miles, 390 to 680, and he didn't have any issues with the car, no flats, no nothing. He just took one splash of gas and held the lead, and yeah, I think he actually pulled a little bit more time on the lead and handed us a perfect car back at 680.
Dude, that's pretty cool. Oh, hey, I thought your Arnie was going to join us, your uncle.
Yeah, he's probably waiting. I don't know if he knows how to join.
Oh, he doesn't. So one thing that I don't know if he's friends with the Dirt Life. Maybe I can see if I can ask him to join. Yeah. So you had your uncle in there, like. There he is. We'll invite him real quick and see if he can come on. You had your uncle in there. You had JD. You obviously had Emma. It was a pretty cool team to have there. There we go. Arnie, what's up, dude?
What's up? How are you guys?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Yeah, just got back to Idaho and it's freezing.
I can only imagine. Hey, see if you can get towards a little bit better Wi-Fi, or maybe turn your Wi-Fi off if you have a good cell phone signal, because it's a little blurry and can't hear you that good. So, Kaden, how was it? Kaden, how was it having your dream team together? The only person missing is your dad and Ivan, right?
Yeah, Ivan was on the coast, and he was part of the chase crew, and then my dad was on the inland side, part of the chase crew too, and we decided that JD would be a good option, and my dad can chase instead of normally he would chase and then get in the car, and maybe we were trying to get a fresh driver in there, and it ended up turning out pretty good.
Yeah, that is cool, man. I think it's cool though that they can like get their family, everybody, like give everybody opportunities, man. Like,
yep.
I don't know, man. It just seems cool to me that they have that vibe.
Yeah, 100%. And JD's good too. I mean, for being outside of family, he's a good.
Well,
dude.
He's also a UTV world champion, so
I love that dude. He's a good dude.
And he's got really nice hair.
Yeah, and it always has a great shirt on.
He's always dressed
button up,
dressed to impress. Did he have a really nice shirt on after he got out of the car, after he was done racing too?
He had his race suit on with the floral print.
Nice.
What'd you say, Emma?
His race suit is cool. I like it. With the like Hawaiian floral print on the side.
Oh yeah, I saw that. He got a suit. The side of it has his floral print from his shirts.
Dude, that's so sick.
He's such a good dude. I love that guy.
All right, we're gonna try to see if we can get your uncle on here again, Kaden. What was some of the most fun things that you guys have got to experience during the race, other than the battle with Ethan?
You can answer first.
Yeah, Emma, you go first.
I don't know if this was fun, but it was definitely like a highlight for me. My seatbelt, right as we were hitting like the lake bed, and we hit this like bump, but I just like went flying out of my seat. I had to come undone, and I was like, "Holy," like flying. But then I struggled with putting my seatbelt on, but that was really about it.
Chris Noor from Sparko says, who makes Jay Drizzle's suit? I can only assume that it's him.
I can only assume.
Yeah, that's cool, though. If you do have any extra prints over there, Chris, let me know, because I'd like to have a really customized, nice suit as well. Arnie, so was that your first time racing a side-by-side in Baja, or have you done it before?
No, I've helped out. I've been out there a few years now.
So what was the difference? Yeah, what was the difference in the race compared to what you've done before? Because I heard it was pretty gnarly, man. This race was a good one.
Yeah, it was colder, and that was the first time I rode with like JD. That was like the first time I really met him, and it was good. It was super cold at night.
Actually, you know what? That's
super cold.
That's actually a good thing to talk about. So, Kaden and Emma drive a lot together. They pre-run all together, log a lot of miles together. They sit in the car together, race together. So, very experienced team, right? And then so you get JD and Arnie together that are we'll call it brand new,
fresh.
Yeah, fresh together. Like, how does that vibe work? Is it just like being at home, or do you guys mesh well, or like? Because to me, that seems like a good learning experience that you could tell other people that are listening to the show how to actually overcome? Because for me, that's like a fresh face is a totally different thing.
Yeah. So he came down on Wednesday, and like right when I met him, we pretty much went pre-running, and we ran over mics to 680, and we didn't run the San Felipe section until the race. And so San Felipe was that was the first time he's been in that car and that section for this race. But as far as like running with somebody, like it was cool because just like JD was super cool. I don't know.
It's kind of it's almost a 50-50 because it's either an uneasy feeling because you're like, I don't know this dude. I know he's good because they've picked him, but I mean, I'm getting in the seat with him, and then I don't know his style. So, I mean, you guys had to figure it out kind of pre-running, right?
Yeah, we just ran one day together before the race, so but everything went good because Emma and Kaden and them have already put notes in, and so I was just reading off those and like made some adjustments here and there, and yeah, everything worked out good though. So.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, that's cool to see. Like when I hear stuff like that, it tells me like I'm such an amateur when it comes to understanding that stuff. Like that means a lot to me that they could actually do all that so quickly.
Yeah, just get into it and get the job done.
Yeah, totally. Like, well, and you know how to do it, so like you could speak from an expert's level, but like I can't understand how to do that.
Well, it's different too because let's say you know how to do it, but you're not blending with your driver. Like then it doesn't matter what you know or what he knows. It's just it doesn't work. So.
Yeah, so you probably already got the flow then when you just when you were pre-running, you're like, oh, okay, I got you, JD, and then you just go back and forth.
Yeah, it worked out good. Figured out how he's going to drive and his style of driving, and just figured out how to call out notes for him and. Worked out.
Hey, so I don't know if anybody knows this, but Kaden's brother owns a Union Graphic Company, and they do stickers. And Daniel Schenkelberg just had a comment come through that said, I party with a bad word. And I wonder if you handed any of those stickers out this past week.
Yeah, I did a couple hundred of them.
Dude, did you have extra ones? Because I remember passing those out, and people would be like, oh, thanks for the sticker, and they'd look at it and be like, damn it.
I'll probably need a couple of those. You have any left over?
So obviously you're going to have to print more after the show because everybody's going to want those same stickers and have to put them on their trucks.
Yeah, we have a few extra, but...
Oh, Daniel said he needs an explanation for these stickers.
Corbin we were going down to one of their first score races, and he whipped them up. I don't know why, but actually pretty cool down there.
Oh, it's so funny because Kaden talks about it like it's no big deal, but dude, it's hilarious. Like you give those stickers to people and they start cracking up.
I bet.
It's so funny. Hey, Arnie, what was your favorite tacos down there?
Valley T.
I like the Machaca's Burritos place.
Oh, that at Alexis or whatever it's called?
I don't know, over by San Felipe more.
Yeah, the yellow place. It's like something Alexis or whatever.
Yep, that's my favorite place.
Dude, that place was pretty fire. I remember when Kaden took me over there, dude. It was good. You like that place too, Mila?
I've never had there.
You haven't?
No.
Dude, you just go down there for lunch one day.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I for sure would do that.
All right, so we're going to get Austin Whelan on here in just a couple minutes, man. So maybe kind of give me a little bit of a rundown on what your guys' favorite part was, because we asked like Luke McMillin and those guys, and they all had different, fun parts of the event, like whether it was a finish line or just like having fun with your family. What about you guys? Like, what was your guys' favorite part? Emma, you go first, and Kaden, and then Arnie.
I think getting back in the car after being out of the car and like having known that everything has gone so and JD so well, and like just having that excitement all around for the last like 150 miles was probably my favorite part. And then it's a little nerve-wracking trying to keep it going well, but that from everyone was really exciting.
I like that statement because that means that she's thinking about other people and how excited they are too. Like she's considerate with all that stuff. That means a lot. Like because that means that the teamwork is really there.
Yeah. They're on the same level. Yep.
Robert said that Kaden eats grilled cheese even in Mexico.
True.
Big grilled cheese guy. All right, what was your favorite part, Kaden, other than the grilled cheese?
Probably when it got into the night, probably like race mile 200, just going in, so the whole track had changed, and week before the race, so it was a lot smoother. And then in the night, we ended up missing a few just because we had some that we didn't burn them in, and learning next time, like really make sure to hit those lines, because when you pre-run during the day, you won't roll like night.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
totally different.
Yeah, because you don't know that there's a line over there on the left.
I used to have to mark it way in advance for the night.
Yeah, because if there's a junction or something, you have no idea.
Well, you miss your points of reference at the dark. So sometimes the speed you're going, you'll just miss it. So I used to have to put a star. I would use stars for my secret lines way ahead, because then I'd know I have to keep looking.
Yeah, Emma's shaking her head right there too.
Yeah, definitely learning curve for me, and I like your idea of the stars.
We had 'em. It's just, I don't know, just like it was seriously at night. Was just shadowing where like you drove over the bush. It's still in the day, it's just fine, and at night, like you almost have to stop to realize where you're going.
Or where you even are, like it's hard to kind of recognize sometimes.
Well, we used to pre-run our sections at night. We would go, okay, by here, at about 6 o'clock, we'll be about here. So that we would
try to actually do it during the time that you're going to think you're going to be there?
Exactly. Yeah. So I remember we did the Cocos through Frog Wash right at the time we were supposed to be there. We did that like 10 times, and that was the time we got a flat. So
yeah, that's crazy. All right, so we're already late for Austin, but so a couple questions. First, they said, Arnie, you look like you're freezing, and then they wanted to know if you were going to race Rage at the River in an 11 car.
I don't know for sure. I'm getting knee surgery tomorrow, and so it kind of just depends on that.
Just see if you can heal up quick. Well, hopefully the surgery goes well, man. We're going to let you guys go. Kaden, do you want to thank anybody before we dip out and talk to Austin?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everyone that makes it happen. Polaris, Tensor, Baja Design, and Pit Crew, JD, and his crew.
And Ivan for Fabulous Tacos in San Felipe.
Yeah. And just everyone.
All right. Well, thanks. It's good talking with you guys. Hey, Arnie, good luck in your surgery tomorrow. We hope you heal up quick, buddy. And thank you, Emma and Kaden, for coming on. You guys did a fantastic job, dude. Champions in my book and champions on paper, too. Really, really good job.
Congrats on that win.
All right. We'll see you guys later. All right. So we're going to get later, Arnie. We're going to get Austin Whelan on here. Talk with him a little bit about his race, man. Everybody has such a different experience.
I know. That's the best part I like about this is you just get feedback from all over the source of everything from everybody.
Exactly. Austin
Except for
Whelan,
this guy.
What's happening?
What's up, Austin?
What's up?
Dude, how are you? What's going down?
Newly engaged, Austin, by the way.
I know. Newly engaged.
Baja 1000 winner.
Trying to find a wedding venue in the middle of trying to prep for the 1,000 was pretty interesting.
Did you find one?
Yeah, I booked like 3 of them and finally settled on one and got all my deposits back. So we're finally good.
Oh, dang, dude. Yeah, getting your deposits back is actually more work than actually booking it, dude.
Dude, the whole wedding experience is a lot of work, man.
Dude, well, yeah.
I didn't know they were so damn expensive.
Oh, yeah, for
Dude,
sure.
They'll freaking take you for it, man.
Yeah, you almost don't even want to tell them it's for a wedding.
I know. I got to call Steve and ask for some free Coors Light for him.
Who?
Hey, so like, what was some of the prep and stuff? Because we talked with a lot of the teams earlier on the show. I don't know if you were watching, but about prepping for these races and stuff. Like, I think 2 things, I guess, is like getting the vehicle ready, understanding who's going to be driving, riding, chasing with you, and then doing your homework at the race as well. Like, how do you go about it?
I'd say well, it's funny you say that because the day we finish the 400s, the day that we start prepping for the 1,000, we already have a plan for the 1,000 and everything. And actually, I wanted to make a slight change on my shocks because Duncan sent me a picture of something he could put on them. And he texted me back and said, absolutely not. You never change after the 400.
you have to say with what worked at the 400 for the 1,000, it's tried and true. So pretty much we go with that mentality. We take everything we learned from the year and we apply it ready for the 1,000. And we do put a decent amount of new parts on the car. We put a new motor, all new Heims, Uniballs, and all that stuff. But we take that and we get ready for the 1,000, and we start the planning for the 1,000 early. Start figuring out who's driving with us, our pit strategy, and as soon as we know a little more about the courses, when we can figure that out right away. So it starts pretty early for us.
Yeah, that is crazy how much actual legwork goes in, man. I love hearing these different stories, man.
Well, it's polar opposite. One person doesn't, one person does, one takes a year, one doesn't. It's crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, and it's all different because well, in this case, because we interviewed the winners, like it ends up at the same result, right? But hey, so when you talked about putting a new motor and stuff, like I saw you at the finish line, you were leaking a little Baja blood there, dude.
Yeah, we actually, I don't know what rock I smoked, but I obviously smoked a rock before 475, and that's where we did the driver change, and I got out. And from 475 to the finish, we had to stop every pit possible. So 580 was the next pit once I got over Mike's, then 680 once I got back from the Vineyard Road, and then 700, 727, 800, and we had to fill it full of oil to make it to the finish.
Wow.
Yeah, well, dude, that's like, hopefully Harley Davidson's not watching. That's like Harley Davidson. You just got to keep it going, man.
Just keep it going. We don't have to change the oil. We just keep adding more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, luckily we run Maxima so that they have good oil, so it kept it cool. We kept touching the tranny every time we pit to fill it up, and you could touch the tranny with no issues, so that was good.
Dude, Maxima is the best.
Dude, easy, man. We're a Motul show here. Okay,
Well,
boys? Like, I appreciate you guys getting the sponsor plugs in. But, yeah, so, like, dude, it was kind of crazy to see, like, when I got to the finish line, like, I didn't know, because I'm so used to seeing you in your car, right? Like, I didn't know who else was driving with you. So give us a little bit of a rundown.
Yeah, so I went 0 to 475, got out, and then Dylan Smoke went 475 to the finish. He raced the 500 with me this year as well and did the last, like, 175 at the 500. And then he did it last year at the 1,000. He raced about 300 miles with us. And I've grown up with him. He raced motocross, and he pre-runs with me pretty much every race. So we have two cars to check all their lines out and time them. And so I felt confident in him driving the car. Last year at the 1,000, he did a great job. We went into the 500 this year, and he did a great job again. And then I was like, all right, let's do the 1,000 together and see what we can do.
Dude, what do you think about that, Mila? Like, because that's like something that you're used to.
I was reading Daniel's thing.
Oh, go for it.
Sorry, I totally wasn't paying attention. I was reading Daniel's
thing.
No,
go ahead. Yeah, say Daniel's.
So Daniel wants to know what helps you with your consistency, because you've been so consistent all year. Like,
that's actually a really good question.
Here's, I just gotta throw this in too. I know we're kind of short on time, but when I was racing, I was new to the UTV scene. Austin was the only guy that actually said, "Hey man, come over here," and kind of just gave us a little feedback, gave us a little help, gave us a little bit of, not a lot, but just enough to keep us going.
Oh, and didn't blow you off in the wrong direction?
Exactly, just based off the name of the team. And so props to you. But going back to, you did it so well. Now your consistency is just great. I mean, where do you get that from? What do you attribute that to?
I'm saying moto guy. Am I wrong?
I did start with moto, but that helps a lot. But I would say a lot of it goes back to our team. I mean, we built the car with John Vance, who's one of the best builders, and we can always drive over to Tisco. It's 5 minutes from us, and talk to him, pick anything off his brain, and he's always going to give it to us. My dad grew up with Fortin, and we've been great friends with Fortin forever. So any changes we want to make, we work with him on it. We have a lot of good people around us, and I think a lot of it too is that my dad's really committed to winning, and he always wants to push the envelope. So whatever it takes is what we get to build whatever we want.
Yeah, see, like, that's good. Like, I like that. Well, the secret is Coors Light. I like that statement, though, because that means that he is part of the reason, along with a lot of other drivers, that we're seeing these speeds and the growth of the UTV industry is because exactly the statement that Austin just made.
Well, and I know, being someone who used the identical parts as him, that he had a lot of feedback that would actually have the parts be changed by the manufacturer to make it not break and to make it last and to make it keep his consistency. So that's a big deal.
Yeah. Are you getting paid extra for that, Austin?
No, nothing at all. But
Nothing off the bill either.
whatever helps. I still have my own little things I do different, but Mila and I worked really closely together. When he was having issues with stuff, he'd say, "What are you doing different?" And we'd talk about it. And I think that helps a lot. When he figured something out, he would call me and we'd make the same change he did. And that, I think that helps a lot as like just working together to figure things out together.
I couldn't agree more.
He was the only guy that shared info. So when I felt like I had something that would help him, and I wasn't really supposed to do it, but I always felt like he was there for me if I had a question. So I'd be like,
you
"Hey,
guys
man,
got each other's back, dude."
I found this out. I don't know if you want to try it.
But the crazy part about it is whether you guys think you're holding or not, like you guys are making each other better.
Well, yeah. Well, and in all honesty, it was between Austin and another driver who I really only considered the real competition when we were out on the field.
Ooh, look at that, dude. Big competition guy.
Austin always seemed to come out on top.
Hey, so what was some of the coolest things about this race? So did you start the race or?
I started. I went 0 to 475.
Okay, so what was some of the coolest parts for you?
I had a really good battle with Branden early on. I had in my head from the start, I told my dad the day before the race, I was like, "Hey, we're going to go out. We're going to go as hard as we can push without breaking the car. And our goal is to break every other car out before the finish. And that's how we're going to win." He's like, "Okay, whatever you think." And then, so we went out pretty hard. I passed Branden, I don't know, race mile 70-ish, somewhere in there. And I was battling him hard. I actually slid in and doored him. And it's a big donut on my door from me hitting his tire. And we pushed hard from there and got down in San Felipe. Pushing hard early, from what I can tell, has gotten us through the bottlenecks a little bit quicker. And it's you don't want to push hard always in a long race, but with the classes in front of us and how much they bottleneck, it's really important for us to push hard early and try to get the first to the bottleneck or the first through the bottleneck, because then we walk all the areas where we know bottlenecks are going to be and find the lines around them.
Dude, I wonder
that's the pre-run homework right there.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like in the future, right? Like I wonder if that's going to be like, let's just say that Score or Best in the Desert, whoever it is, like says, okay, UTVs are at the point where they can go ahead of 10 cars or whatever it is. Then all of a sudden, then you release the bottlenecks. Like like that changes the whole strategy at that point.
Well, I thought they did that in Best of the Desert when they finally said, "Okay, we've beat all the 10 cars. Can we start in front of them now?" But I don't remember if that stuck.
I think it's the 7 trucks that are causing the bottlenecks for us a lot lately.
Yeah, but I mean, like, dude, it's crazy. Like, just to think about all that evolution together.
Needs to happen though, because I mean, if you think about how many cars were held up.
Yeah, it's desert racing.
Well, the first bottleneck everyone's talking about actually was caused by a 10 car that didn't know what first gear was to go over a rock, and he was sitting there and just smoking his clutch and his training trying to get over a rock in third gear.
Nice.
And then, so I was sitting behind him, and I knew there was no line around this spot, and he finally downshifted and pulled out of there. And right when he pulled out, I went, but he left his co-driver, a half mile from where he stopped. So we went right on by him, and that's when me and Matlock got by. Max and Scanlon had already gotten by. And then the 7 truck behind us got stuck on the same rock, and that's what hurt Branden and all the guys behind.
Oh, that's what it was. So that's when we were over there. Yeah, so I saw Austin over there, like when we were doing that time split for Craig. Man, it was cool to see you guys though. Like when we were flying over there, it was after that bottleneck that we got to see you. We got to see you for a while. It looked like you had some pretty good line choices, and you were riding the crowns of the ruts and stuff. Like you were doing a good job, man.
Yeah, we don't spend as much time as I'd like to pre-running, because I guess we got to work first before we can race. But we spend some time down there, and definitely a lot of shock tuning to work on those crowns in the road. We run a little higher ride height than everyone else, but it works out from us with the boys at STG, and we make that work, and we just take it from there. And that's what helped us a lot down in San Felipe area. I knew once I got to San Felipe, I could push the car to the max.
You're not supposed to say that out loud.
Run the whoops and let it go.
That's okay. Everybody's going to start pushing the cars to the max. Like, I love that Austin is like, he is able to talk about the races because this is literally the growth of the sport.
Yep.
Like, this is what's happening, man.
Yeah.
I think it's super cool. Hey, we got to get the Class 11 guys to come on here in a little bit. It's going to be a fun conversation because I don't really know any of the guys. But man, you've been really killing it, man. I've been super impressed. I've raced with you for a few years when we were doing short course stuff, and to see the evolution of your driving skills and everything that's going on, man, I'm really proud of you.
100%.
Yeah, it's fun racing with you against some short course. I think desert suits us a little bit better, but short course was always fun.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Well, keep kicking ass, man. Hey, thank everybody that helped you guys.
I gotta think the most important thing, we can't do Baja and can't do racing without our team. I mean, the guys that take off work, the volunteers, and this and that. That's who makes us be able to go race Baja, because you can't have enough employees to go just race Baja. And I really got to thank all the guys that take time off work and everyone that helps us out going down there and racing. And then my obvious sponsors and that. But the team is what makes it. We work together closely and we make it happen. And some guys like this race, they didn't have the best chase race. They had to chase on the coast and they only had one stop or two stops. And then the other people were all on the other side. But it's just the guys that help us out and the volunteers and our friends have been doing it forever, from way back in the day. And those are the ones that are like the unsung heroes that no one ever hears about. And they're the ones that make it possible for us to even go race.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that statement
100%.
wholeheartedly, and that's why I want Starling to fucking work next time so that we can give all those people the opportunity to show what it's like in Mexico, man.
The behind-the-scenes chase crew.
Not when we were in motion, because we had one on the helicopter and we had one on the race car, and neither of them worked when we were in motion.
Huh.
So
ours worked fine in motion on the chase trucks.
Yeah, it just depends on how fast you're going and what update you have. Like, I did a bunch of research on it, yeah, man, they have that new InMotion one that they turned off all the older ones, so it just sucked. But anyways, we want to do like some cool stuff with that. But yeah, man, you did a great job, and it's cool to see that you're. We can't wait to see what happens next year.
I can't.
Yep.
So it's gonna be cool, man. Can't wait.
Yeah, man. Congrats
thanks,
on that win, by the way. And keep on keeping on, my man.
Yeah, we got 3 out of the 4 this year and didn't get the championship that way, which sucks. But
That's crazy.
We'll go for the championship next year.
What was the fourth? What was the bad race?
San Felipe, I blew 2 belts early, and then we had to push too hard to catch back up, and I ended up snapping a trailing arm.
Oh, crap. Yeah, and weren't you battling with Mark Burnett just jumped on? Weren't you battling with him and then
Lambert.
Yeah, Lambert.
Yep, we were battling them, pushing up, trying to get through them. And I made up a bunch of time, but I just knew how hard we were pushing the car. I was like, I think we might be pushing the limits too hard, but we fixed that, made it better, and now we can push that hard now consistently.
Dude,
Rad.
So rad. All right, well, keep kicking ass, dude. You're a badass behind the wheel.
I agree.
Yep, thank you guys.
All right, later,
All right,
homie.
Austin.
Have a
Later,
good one.
man.
All right, later. Bye.
All right, so yeah, we got to get the Class 11 guys on. I'm really interested to have this conversation because I don't know any of the Class 11 guys. We always give them so much shit because the cars are so much different than what we're used to. Like me being a big UTV guy, you being a truck guy. Like, it'll be interesting to see what these guys say. So hopefully
These
they'll
guys
jump
are
on here.
savages.
Dude, honestly, really savages. So the guys that we, I think it was called GHA Racing.
Oh, yeah.
They were telling me that they didn't actually make the cut to finish the race. They were, I think, 2 minutes behind the cutoff time. It was like 36 hours or so. Here we go. Yeah.
Right.
36 hours or something like that.
Yep.
But they still finished and crossed the line. I was like, no freaking way. Like, and they sent some pictures over of them working on the car, getting things ready, like all that stuff. And I was just like, dude, this is Baja right here.
Yep. It's the heart of it.
All right. So since I don't know you guys very much, introduce yourself real quick.
How you doing, guys? This is Alex Gonzalez here.
What's up, Alex? Dude, Alex is a boss. So he was sending me some pictures and stuff earlier. Maybe give us a little bit of a rundown. So we're going to talk with you, and then you said Pete and Tim. So who was doing what duties?
I'm a driver of record, and it's team owner. So and then Tim Sletton, he owns Sletton Engineering. He builds our motors, and he's also our prep guy and one of our drivers.
All right, so
Pete McLeod, there's Pete right there, Pistol Pete.
What's up, Pete?
He's my coach. What's up, guys? He's does everything.
There we go. And there's Tim, too. What's up, Tim? How are you?
Got them all.
All right, boys. So the first question I got to ask, just so it can like ease my mind, and then we'll start talking about your races. How fucking gnarly is the Class 11, dude? Because like every time I see it, and I tell Lucas this stuff, Lucas from Boxo, I tell him this all the time, like, there's no way you could get me in one of those cars. Like, my back would be hammered.
Oh, they're not that bad, though. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're bad, but the VW suspension, it can be pretty plush.
That's what Blake was telling me, too, but I don't believe him. Like, I got to get proved wrong. So tell me, hook me up, boys.
All right. Yeah, no, it's you'd be really amazed. I've taken some people for some rides, like including like Keith Marigold from he does our shocks, and you know, he tunes a bunch of trucks and, you know, unlimited stuff, and he was like, holy shit, you know, like this thing, it's crazy. I mean, it's you know, if you're driving it hard enough to where it hurts, you know, you're gonna break. So there's a fine line, but you would be definitely surprised on how well they do. But
so basically, what you guys are saying is like, just take me on a little bit smoother of a ride, maybe not quite San Felipe whoops, and just get me used to it. No, yeah, see, Mila's looking over here like, I don't know, dude.
One of the first times I ever went to the desert, when I first moved to San Diego in like '96, a guy took me for a ride in a bone stock VW, and I was just amazed about how plush for what we were doing. Obviously, when you get into the big stuff, it'll hurt, and you'll start breaking things, but for what it is, you can haul the mail in those things, actually.
All right, so Pete, tell me what you think, like, because you're a co-dog, right?
Yeah, navigating.
So what's the move then? Are you trying to conserve the car? Can you push it really hard? Like, how do those things do?
Yeah, so we have to make decisions in certain sections. Obviously, you know, it's a game of averages in Class 11. So, you know, certain sections you're going to have to definitely conserve. Like the summit, you know, was super gnarly for me and Alex at the beginning of this race. So, you know, you have to be minded of the car, and you got to pass this car on to other guys. And you can't give them out car with no shocks, you know. So we do our best to try to keep it conservative where we can and push where we can when we can be fast. And Alex does a good job of that. And I just try to give him the notes.
Dude, he's being all humble. I'm sure he's in there being like, Alex, slow the fuck down, dude.
No, he's opposite. I gotta not listen to him sometimes.
Yeah. Quit being a pussy. Come on, let's go.
Charge it.
Yeah, we send it where we can. You know, we're all competitive, and you know, at the end of the day, we want to win. So we do try to push, and sometimes it gets us in a little trouble. But you know, it's just the game of Class 11. You're gonna break stuff, and gotta be fixing it.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll talk a little bit about the breaking the stuff and the stuff that you guys dealt with. But so Tim, when did you get in the car?
I got in at by 3 poles, so on the north side of
San Felipe.
And up San Mateus, and then up over Mike's.
How was that? Because that seems like a pretty gnarly area.
That's a fun little section from 3 poles to Mike's.
Does it flow pretty good?
Mm-hmm.
Well, from 3 poles to Mike's is the easy part, but once you start going over Mike's, that's where I think the worst of the race begins.
I agree.
Did you guys draw straws?
Yeah. Oh, well, I think I've just been elected for it. In the last 2 years, that's my 4th time going over Mike's. So once I did it once, that was it. They were like, you're the guy, you can do it.
That's hilarious. So every year he's like, please give me something else, you guys.
Yeah. Well, at least you know Mike's pretty good now.
Yeah. Well, getting worse every race. I keep on telling these guys, you know, even the 400, I thought it was going to be like the worst it's ever been because of the rain, and it got even worse this time. And I'm like, how can this possibly get worse than what it's been?
Yeah,
it was that gnarly. Okay, so
yeah,
speaking of being gnarly, so let's go on that subject for a little bit. Everybody was saying that the course was really gnarly. There was big ass rock sections, all this other stuff. Is that what kind of I don't know. I want to ask this in a 2-part question, but I don't know how to ask it. Like, that was really gnarly in itself. So give us a little rundown on that. And then did that cause a little bit of the adversity that you had to deal with?
I think yes and no. You know, I knew going up over Mike's that I had to go easy on the car, but you're fighting time at the same time. You know, so you can't be stopping and wasting a bunch of time. You have to keep momentum going. And even though I would say I somewhat babied the car, it definitely wasn't easy on it. I mean, we probably bent 2 wheels, 1 flat, and once Alex got in the car and tried to take up the
take off on the Pacific coast, that's when the drum was letting go and the ball joints broke, and then all hell broke loose.
Yeah, it's just, dude, that's the nature of the beast, though, right? I mean, like when you're just pushing that hard, I guess. I don't know, Pete.
Yeah,
you
going
kind of
back to it, like going up the, on some of those hills, especially like in the summit. I mean, you can only cruise to a certain extent, and then you got to get in the R's. I mean, we're pinning it up the hills trying to get up rocks, and if you don't, you're literally just gonna get stuck. So once you get that thing up in the, it sounded like it was at 7,000 RPMs, who knows, but you have to stay on that pipe to get up and over the obstacles, or else you're just done. You're gonna have to be backing down hills, and especially in the summit, that's pretty gnarly.
Do you have to kick the clutch a lot to keep it going?
I think that's like kind of what weakens it a little bit, is we have to go so hard up some of those rock hills, that it takes a toll on it. And being that it was a loop, there's so many hard sections. It eventually just wears out. But
yeah, dude, that's crazy because like you literally don't have a choice. Do you have to kick the clutch a lot or no?
Yeah, I never used to, and then Tim kind of taught me that, and now it's kind of.
I couldn't imagine going over the summit in that car. That's probably a lot.
We got Tim builds the motor to have. I mean, we got a lot of power. Everybody knows it, and it really, really helps because we do have a heavier car than most. She's kind of like a battle tank, but it goes, man. But you got to push her a little sometimes going up those rocks.
Dude, even coming down the summit, like, dude, that's such a gnarly area.
Yeah,
like
for
even when you're like. When you think you're down there and then you start getting into that rock shale area, it just like breaks your kidneys in half. It's like, oh god.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, that's coming out of the mountain right there. That like last 5 miles to the wash is like unbearable. I mean, we're motoring pretty good through it too, because it seems like the faster you go, like it kind of gets
smoother
on
it
top,
gets.
so light. But that is gnarly right there.
Dude, yeah,
it's a gnarly section.
We call that, like I call that section the bladder buster, and we were in stock Turbo S's. I can only imagine in a Volkswagen.
Yeah, we came down the summit pretty quick. We were motoring through the rocks, and then we came up on a 10 car that was flipped over, and we got stuck behind some 5 cars, and we were pushing them down the mountain, man. They couldn't obviously pull over because it's so narrow, but I mean, we would have smoked them down the mountain if we could, but we lost some time there.
That's
Dude,
rad.
So I have a question that I've been wanting somebody to be able to answer because nobody's been able to answer it for me. Pete, do you know how the fuck that guy got that motorhome halfway up that hill right there at the coming down the summit?
No, dude, I have no idea.
Every time I see that goddamn motorhome, I'm like, how the hell did it come up this hill?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. When you're through the summit, there's all kinds of abandoned trucks and flipped over cars, and like a graveyard for old ranch trucks up there. And there's that cabin up there where apparently somebody lives. I don't know. We drive past. Like, dude, there's no way.
We saw a couple fresh eating bags of chips up there. I was like, dang.
That's wild. Wild, man. It's crazy how these guys get around sometimes.
Yeah, it's nuts. All right, so give us a little bit of a rundown, Pete. Just let us know, like, kind of how the race evolved for you guys. So you guys are pushing the car. Both Tim and Alex are driving it, and then stuff starts to kind of either wear out or kind of you start hearing stuff, and then you're like, all right, we got to start fixing some shit.
Yeah, we had a number of issues. To be honest, this probably was the race where we had the most issues out of all of our races, probably over the last 2 years. Started out with some ignition trouble. We kind of had to diagnose some electrical problems early on in the race that cost us some downtime. We had a tire change early. When Tim got in, he had a steering box issue we didn't know about, because we're all at different points on the course. Apparently the steering box bolt broke, and they had to, drill out a bolt and replace it with an engine bolt Tim found, so we're swapping parts there. Ball joints broke. We had multiple arms break.
Wow.
We had a transmission swap at 6:45. That was, our most significant challenge of the race. Obviously, that took, quite a couple hours really. And, hook stops, just a number of issues. It just kind of snowballed, and we just kept pushing. We never gave up. These guys, it's a badass team. We're all extremely competitive. And we just did what it took to get there, So it was a really fun race at the end of it. Looking back, obviously a grind during it, but it was good.
The best part was Armando coming into the finish. Armando Ventura, he was the last driver.
everybody's like, why aren't you going faster? Go faster. And he gets out of the car, and the steering column is broke off the car. So he's literally just has a steering wheel in his hands, nothing holding it. And that's how he did, I think, the last 30 miles of the race.
Wow.
Dude, that's so wild,
That's so
man.
crazy. That's so
we were
epic.
all pissed off because we were running short on time, and we're like, he's on the highway doing 60, and I'm like, mother effing him. I'm like, man, like, come on, man, we got like 2 minutes. And then, we all felt bad because at the end, he just literally had a steering wheel in his lap. So we're like, all right,
dude,
that's smart. 60.
That's literally, but this is like Baja stories.
I
Like,
love this.
dude. Yeah, it's so rad. But so one thing that I noticed is who's got the phone with the cricket, dude? It's hilarious. I don't know whose it is. But anyway, so one of the things that I noticed that you guys were talking about, I think Pete, you're the one that said this, is like the never give up attitude, right? And then so the main reason that I wanted to have you guys on the show is because Lucas was talking to me a little bit. You guys did not make the cutoff time for a technical finish, right? It took you guys 36 hours. What was the cutoff time?
36 hours.
And
So
is
we
it-
basically finished like 36 hours and 2 minutes.
Dude, so
And,
that's bonkers, right? So, well, when I hear that, first of all, I think, oh crap, like I wish they would have finished, right? But then you start thinking about having your glass half full. These dudes did whatever it took to get to the finish line. And what I like to always tell people is I like to bring it back to some sort of human aesthetic or human characteristics, right? That is something that you guys live by in your lives every day. You don't give up. You keep pushing. Like if something bothers you, you relate it back to what you had faced before, right? We were talking about some of the failures that I had personally this past weekend. We tried to do a live feed and it didn't work. We had Starlink issues and all this stuff. And I get bummed out. I want to be accountable for it. But then we're going through Mexico and I understand that these people are living in a totally different reality than what I was through the weekend. And you guys are out there racing. You guys are having a good time, but you never give up. And those mentalities drive human beings forward. Like those things are so meaningful for a dude like me to understand because I relate it to everything going on in the world and in reality. Like I love that you guys have that attitude as an entire team.
Yeah, no, we got we literally have the A team. Like we could race with them forever, and it's everybody's there to win, which is huge. Everybody's there to, do their part. No, we don't, we're pretty boring group of guys. We like to talk shit and amongst ourselves, but we're not out there, partying and nothing, not that there's nothing against that, but we're there literally just to win. I mean, we're all have that same exact mindset. And, from, top to bottom, like we are there for one reason. It's a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of time away from families, work. And, like Pete said, we're all just uber competitive. It's a wild thing, but we got a good thing going.
Yeah, and kudos to you guys for having that mentality.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, too. I think the fans know what you guys go through, too. And the fans appreciate it just as much as you do. Because if I'm not mistaken, every time I see a Class 11 goes by, everyone uproars. Because everyone knows how challenging that is.
What was it like when you guys crossed the finish?
Go ahead, Tim.
Oh no, I was just gonna say going across the finish, it's unbelievable. But I was thinking about how you brought up the fans right now, and so as I was going up over Mike's Sky Ranch, daylight hit. So what was it? Probably 6 o'clock in the morning, and I remember on multiple occasions I passed some families with kids there, and they kept on throwing up second place. And this is at 6 o'clock in the morning, which means that these kids and families had literally been there all night, watching the race, watch the leader come through probably a couple hours earlier, and how dedicated they are to us down there,
To let you know you got one car ahead of you.
Again, that reality thing that I'm talking about, different perspectives from different people, right? That's so sick.
It's rad.
Yeah. That's like on the parade start, that how they kind of start us now, and then which I don't really care for because as a racer, you just want to go, but it's so cool to parade through the city and see all the kids and the fans. And we have a little, our race car's name's Dora, and we have a little stuffed animal on a little stuffed Dora on the antenna. It's zip tied on there, and you can see all the kids always pointing at it. It's pretty rad.
It's rad.
So we're just looking at some statistics here, Pete and Tim. Like, the Class 11, only one person finished, and that was Oliver Flamante. He's from Ensenada, but 26 hours and 5 minutes. Dude, he was hauling. Like, you think you could have given him a run for his money? Because that seems fast.
He was getting it for sure. We were duking it out with him early on, and I do think we can hang with him. There's no question about that. We have the right program to do it. Those guys are fast. Hats off to them. They ran a killer race, and we'd love to race them again soon. But our downfalls was just the amount of downtime we had, and when you have that many problems, it's tough. But hats off to them. They are fast. Those guys are legit.
Dude, we were just looking at the times. That's crazy.
Yeah, Tim, how fast is that in the Class 11? Dude, I feel like that is just wide open the whole freaking time.
Yeah, no, that's a prime example of a flawless run. I mean, that's for sure. And every time we looked at the tracker, that guy never stopped. I don't think he had one issue. And we were talking about it on the drive back. And that's a local team, all guys local to Northern Baja. And I guarantee you they knew that course like the back of their hand, and they knew exactly what they were getting themselves into. And they were ready. And it showed with the finish, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But that gives you a carrot to chase.
Yeah, we've never raced against them before. And, we started second off the line with Espiritu, who's, been our main competition the whole season. And, I didn't even really, think about who's behind us or whatever. We just kind of had a plan to try to get around the first guy in the first couple miles, and which we did. And then Flamante comes flying by, and not to be cocky, but I've never been passed under my own power when I'm running good. And we were running good, and this guy passed me like I had a freaking trailer on my truck.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the, I was pissed. I was like, and first instincts to go after him. And, I don't know, I guess getting older or whatever, but I'm like, he can go. He is not going to run that pace and finish this race. We are literally like a 16th into the way of this thing. He's got 700 more miles, and there's no way he's going to finish. And like Tim said, I mean, he just had a flawless run and kept that pace. And I mean, he whooped our ass.
Those Volkswagen gods were just looking over him the whole time, apparently.
Like he was racing short course, like banging berms, and I mean, hats off to him. But it was cool to see. I think we could hang with him. Our car's, she's heavy. She's real heavy. She's a big girl for a Class 11, and you could tell he was just driving the wheels off his car, and it's a nice light car with a good motor. So, and obviously skill behind the wheel.
Dude, yeah,
we were able to hang within 15 miles of them up until the beginning, up at San Mateus. That's when it all went south. We were within 15 miles until there. And then once we had to do the steering box, I think we lost an hour and a half. And that's really when he put some distance on us.
All right, well, give us a little bit of a rundown. Pete, since those guys just done talking, what was the issues that you faced and how did you guys get them fixed? Because did you have any MacGyver stuff that you had to put there?
Yeah, there was definitely a couple of MacGyver situations. The first, Tim is the king of MacGyver, by the way. First of all, you should ask Tim. He's got hundreds of ways to fix stuff.
Instead of Tim Sletton, we'll call him Tim MacGyver.
Yeah, sure, Timmy MacGyver. I don't know how he comes up with some stuff sometimes, but he got the steering box. You got to find bolts that match the steering box pitch count and size, and he knows where one is on the car and the motor, and so he's backing an engine stud out to use it for the steering box, and it's like, I don't know how he comes up with some of this stuff. Bungee wrapping, what was it, Tim?
Dude, that reminds me of that movie Half Baked. He's like, give me my snorkel, a toothpick, and some duct tape.
We got it going.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we were laughing. My dad came up with a bungee cord around the fan shroud, but you got to find ways out there. There's no other way. I mean, you can't sit there.
Yeah, there you go. Stella held on with the iPad charger. That's perfect.
Works.
Shout out to Armando's co-driver, the guy who did the last leg, who had the steering wheel in his lap. The Stella mount broke. He was holding that. The iPad, because we run lead nav, the mount broke. He was holding that in his hand. And then the USB plug for the iPad broke, and I had a Noco giant diesel battery pack starting thing, and that was plugged into the USB port, and he was holding that. So his hands were full. he's calling notes, and then there was some problem with the fuel pump or something, so he was turning it on and off, and he's just like a madman.
That's the co-dog.
Dude, that's so sick, though. Whatever it takes, man.
Whatever it takes, man.
Yeah, shout out Edgar. He's a beast.
Dude, you guys had some adversity, but you crossed the finish line, dude. That's so sick, man. I'm proud to like just hear these stories. I've always been like so curious about the class 11 stuff. I always was like pushing back on it, like when I heard about it, because I was like, dude, I don't think my body could actually handle it. But the more and more
You'll be impressed.
Yeah,
surprising.
And so I've wanted to. Patty Blaze actually told me, she like convinced me, and I've been wanting to go for a ride with somebody. So I might take you up on that since you live close to us, anyways. But yeah, I keep growing more and more respect and like more admiration for you guys. And every time we get to see you guys out there, I get so pumped.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. Everyone loves the bug. It's like I came from a trophy spec, and so I'm going completely backwards. But you know, you could take that bug and like just everybody gravitates towards it, even a contingency. I mean, obviously they love the trucks, and there's nothing like a trophy truck, but I mean, they're like just everybody. I don't know how many times we get called like the warrior. You guys are the warriors, you know, at Baja, and you guys are nuts, and everybody asks how much blood you piss out. It's like everyone's so curious about it. And it's cool, man.
Dude, you know what'd be sick is like we just talked to about JD Marsh's suit and how it's Chris Noor from Sparco. Dude, we should get warrior suits from Sparco for all these dudes, just
man.
with like steel plates on them, so they look all sick.
So they look like warriors,
and then have the helmet painted like one of those steel helmets.
Dude.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Dude, that would be so cool. Lucas just said you should take me and race the Moore series. Lucas, I'm not yet ready to do that. I would just like to go on a ride, okay, buddy?
That 11 car beat Bryce and Andy at the last two 1000s. That's pretty harsh.
Oh,
it's true.
Who's
though.
the dick?
That's our fearless crew chief, Clyde.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who's the dick that just said that?
That's harsh. I think everyone can relate to your car, though. I mean, not a lot of people can relate to a trophy truck, but everyone knows someone or has been in someone.
That's probably why you're saying the Mexicans are so stoked when everybody rolls by.
Yeah, not just them. I'm stoked when I see them, dude, because I know how much work it goes into it. It's a lot, dude.
Dude, that's so cool. All right, hey, we're going to wind down the show real quick. Got to thank the sponsors and stuff. Why don't you guys thank some of your partners and the people that helped you?
I'll start. So, MP, they've been a huge part of our program. They supply us all our parts. You know, they've been really generous and cool throughout the last 2 seasons. So they're a huge part. Their parts are definitely Baja proven because we beat the shit out of that car. And it's, obviously there's a failure every now and again, but so a huge shout out to them. Tim's engine package is second to none. I mean, everybody wants his motors. He's mega power, and we've floored that thing for 15 miles in first, and it's just in the sand washes, and it just keeps going. Ricky Wright from Wright Gearbox, PCI, KDM Shock Technologies, Lucky Sperm. You guys probably heard or know Cameron Therot. Lucky Sperm Racing.
Yep.
He's been an awesome guy and donor for the last season and a half, and we run his sperm right there in the car. Everyone in Mexico loves that thing.
I used to race with Max.
Of course, our family and friends, our team, and our family for sure. I mean, we're gone a lot. It's like we're prepping, thrashing, racing, coming back, getting ready for the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
The last 2 years, and it's been a lot, but it's hard to walk away from Mexico. And next year, I think that kind of leads to another season. So. But
that's the way. That's the racer mentality, right? Hey, Alex, will you walk around the car while Pete and Tim do their thing? Yeah, I want to see that bad boy. So you can walk around it while they talk. So, all right, Pete, you go now.
Yeah, I mean, he nailed the sponsors. Thanks to everybody who pitches in on the car, and our team is, hats off to everybody on the team. Thanks to Alex for having me, and Clyde for being a badass with the logistics, and Tim for being a beast with the motors and / MacGyvering, and just everybody who's involved is just badass, and it's super fun to race with these guys. I love these guys, and it's fun to run through walls with them all night, for 42 hours. So,
dude, it looks like it's so fun. I love the front, the front hood too.
Tim's wife, Vile. She designed that whole wrap on the front, so we got the serape going on right there.
That's pretty cool. Hey, is it too dark to see the interior or no?
Yeah, let me
I got it.
All right. So, and then I don't know if it's too dark to see some of Tim's motor work back there too. Oh, check it out! You still got the helmet in there.
Yeah, the mount's broke.
Looks like it just raced the Baja 1000.
Yeah. What did you guys do? Just race the Baja 1000 in that thing, or what?
That's so rad.
There's an extra little GPS there, all the Stella stuff, the iPad mounts right there. So it's pretty hammered.
Dude, that's pretty cool.
All I see is it looks like a good time.
Yeah. All right. And then, all right, Tim, why don't you give us a little bit of a breakdown here
Breakdown
of your power plant right there, buddy?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a 1600. I mean, there's a lot more to them than people realize. Everything's getting balanced, aftermarket chromoly parts. They're definitely not as cheap as they used to be. They're pricey, that's for sure. Yeah.
You got a couple tanks there, some AN fittings. I see some nice work there, some nice cable routing, nice hose routing. Like, it looks pretty good, dude. Like, these things are...
loves our trophy truck reservoirs.
Ooh, look at those bad boys. You like those, Mila?
Racy.
My dad just commented if you see the duct tape holding the Parker pumper on. So the Parker pumper broke off on their way down from the summit, and I don't know if they were in a hurry, but Peter and Alex were just like, rip it out. You don't need it. And I'm like, I'm not going and doing 130 miles with no pumper. We're putting that thing back in. So it's got about 4 hose clamps and some duct tape. And thanks to my dad for getting that thing back in there.
Okay, so we now know, Pete, that he learned his MacGyver tricks from Dad.
Yeah, no, for sure. They're both super good at that stuff. It's wild to see these guys sometimes come up with stuff on the fly. It's cool.
Dude, you guys are...
I think Peter and Alex got back in for their second section and didn't even realize it worked. And somebody told them, "Hey, the pumper's back in the car."
Yeah, we had no idea. We started our whole section. We ran most of the Parker pumper, and they're like, "Oh, you could have had it on." And we're like, "Oh, good to know, dude." So we're visors filled in the face, just getting beat up.
You're like, "Thanks, bro. Appreciate it."
Needed that.
Hey, dude, you guys are champions in my book. You guys kick some serious ass. Hey, thank you guys very much for coming on the show. You got anything else, Mila?
No, you guys are champs, dude. I really enjoy hearing your stories.
Dude, yeah, awesome. Hey, so don't be shy at the next race. So just come say hi, and we'll have a little talk or something before the races.
Yeah. All right, shout out one more thing to all of our co-drivers and riders. Nelson Fonte, Clyde Stiers, Armando Ventura, obviously Pete and Tim and myself, and that's it, man. Everybody killed it.
Hey, I got a shout out too. I'll be part of their team right now. Shout out to all the Class 11 fans because you guys are badass.
Yeah, for sure.
Right on. Guys, thanks for having us on.
Hey, thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
We'll see you guys later. Hey, great job for finishing too. We'll see you.
100%.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to wind down the show. We always want to thank everybody for joining us, man. You guys are our lifeblood. Like, Mila, it's so cool that so many people wanted to watch this show tonight. I really appreciate everybody checking it out. Obviously, you have some serious fans with all these drivers, and it's just cool to see the level of off-road nowadays.
It's very cool. It's very cool to see, I mean, just the age range from like Ethan all the way up to Rosler, who just got 3rd overall.
Yeah, Rosler did really good too, right?
It's crazy.
All right, you got anything else you want to talk about, or should I close her down?
No, man. I just appreciate you having me. I enjoy your little empire you built, and I enjoy being part of it.
You're already killing it, man. Or you're always killing it, so I appreciate it. All right, well, thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. Please slide into our DMs. Feel free to ask us any questions about the drivers that you saw tonight. Let us know what you guys want to see on any further shows. Telling me how awesome Mila did tonight. Thank you very much to all of our sponsors. Really appreciate KMC, Maxxis, Shock Therapy, Motul. Let's see here. Evolution Power Sports, Cryo Heat, Vision Canopy, and did I say Evolution Power Sports?
Oh, you did.
Yeah, and Zollinger Racing Products. Thank you guys very much. Really appreciate everything. We hope you guys had a fun show with us. We will see you guys next week. We love you. Good night.
Adios.